There's something magical about watching books get organized, isn't there? It's relaxing and it feels good to see things become orderly. Hi, my name's Bea and welcome to my channel Mama Needs to Read Romance and relive the fun of organizing my bookshelves all over again. I have come a long way since I first became a booktuber about a year and a half ago. Thought it would be fun to relive the magic and put all of my journey of having complete bookshelves in one video. I thought it would be so fun to watch, and I certainly have had fun making this video and reliving how far I've come, because it is quite far. And quite frankly, I'm going to have a problem soon, but luckily I do have a basement, and at some point I have a feeling if this continues like it is, I'm going to convert my basement into a magical book land. It is right now, but it's mostly kids' books. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's go back in time to when I was first starting out, like a year and a half ago. Oh, so long ago. I hope you enjoy this as much as I have. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my bookshelf journey. Hey, I am a newish romance fan and I'm building up my library. My husband just bought me a fun shelf and I am ready to fill it. I've got a brand new stack of books that I just got used. Not just historical romance this time, all kinds of romance, and I can't wait to share it with you because it's just so fun, right? Hi, my name's Bea and welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance, because nobody in this book, wait a minute, how did that get in there? So if you've ever seen any of my videos, you're likely to have seen this corner. But now guess what? I've expanded to another corner of my bedroom and I'm going to be putting all my new books that I just got on this shelf. So I'm really excited, and I'm really excited for you to share with me. I've also got my little gal up here. She just turned 2.5. So I just can't believe it, but we got a couple pictures and they're going to be kind of in the frame. So this is kind of an awkward placement of the shelf. So I apologize in advance. Here's kind of my baby in the background. Anyway, so let's get started. So I wanted to start with Stephanie Lawrence. She's obviously an author that a lot of people love, but I have never read her before. I'm really excited. One of her books, The Lord of the Privateers, is a book that I'm going to be using for my Try a Chapter challenge. I'm going to be doing a pirate romance novel challenge coming up in a couple of weeks where I try out several books, and one of them is Stephanie Lawrence, so I'm excited. But here we have The Lady Chosen, which is part of the Rake Appreciation Society book pick for the month of July. So I bought this for 50 cents at a used bookstore and I was really excited to join the book challenge, and I just have not had time to read this physically. So I'm probably gonna have to miss the book club, which I'm bummed about. But this got a 3.98 rating on Goodreads, so it's obviously really good. And it's the first of the Bastion Club, which reminds me of A Male Wallflowers from Lisa Kleypas. It's 7 guys, I believe, and they're all single and they're all trying to get hitched so they can get and they kind of work together. They've actually bought a home in the city so that they can do recon for one another, I think as they call it, and find suitable women for themselves. So it's like a Wallflowers in reverse and slightly more masculine. But it looks really good, and I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to read the whole thing by the Rake Appreciation Society, but oh well. The other one is The Taming of Ryder Kavanaugh, and it got a 3.97, another really highly rated book on Goodreads. It's a Sinster novel number 20. So there's a lot in this series, and it's actually, though, the second in the Sinster Sisters, say that 3 times fast, series. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I got this one for 50 cents at a used book sale. Never in my life would I've ever Never in my life would I ever have bought books for the step back, but I am totally drinking the Kool-Aid now. I saw 2 by Mary Jo Putney, and just the spines alone, just looking on the shelves in the library book sale, it had my attention because they're so glossy and beautiful. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to check these out. And then when I looked at the step backs, I was like, yes, I have to have these. And for 50 cents a piece, I mean, how could you not almost? So this is also, by the way, this is part of the Silk trilogy, and it's a 3.99 on Goodreads. So it's obviously really good, but check out the step back. Are you ready? How insanely gorgeous is this? You've got action going on up here, action and adventure and love, romance, beautiful. Look at the clothing here. I need to do this as part of Step Back Saturday on Instagram if I ever learn to remotely master Instagram. I'm so sad on there. I need to work on that. But it's just gorgeous. I just can't. And then even the back. Same thing for her book, Thunder and Roses. This got a 4.01 on Goodreads. It's part of the Fallen Angels series. It's #1, which I hardly ever get a first in the series, which I'm really excited about. And look. Oh, again, we've got, what is it? This might be dancing. What is this? It looks like they're dancing. And then, oh, sorry about this. So we've got dancing. We've got some love going on. It looks like it's in exotic locations too. And I mean, look at this. This is just lovely. Oh, so drinking the Kool-Aid. And I love the cover. I mean, who doesn't love that? And even the back is gorgeous. Oh, 50 cents. I love a good take on a fairy tale. And in my last book haul, I detailed how I got 3 of the 5 fairy tale series from Eloisa James. I've never read them. This winter, maybe January, I want to do a reading vlog of all 5 of the fairy tale books. You know, winter time, we're going to be inside. It's going to be cozy. It's the perfect time to do some fairy tales that are romantic, extra romantic. So I'm excited. And I was especially excited. I went to a used bookstore. I got each of these for 75 cents. These are the 2 that I needed. The Ugly Duchess and A Kiss at Midnight. This is the first one in the series. And then I've also, Seduced by a Pirate is one that I'm reading for my Pirate Try a Chapter Challenge later this month. So you'll see that video. And then they also have, there is another, so Seduced by a Pirate is 4.5, which I'm not really counting in the 5 that I need. And there's also a 2.5, Winning the Wallflower, which I would like to read as well. And then I have this, okay, so this is book 1. Then book 2 is When Beauty Tamed the Beast, which I had in my last book haul video. The Duke is Mine, which is a take on The Princess and the Pea, which is in my other video. And then this is book 4, The Ugly Duchess. And, oh, by the way, of course, this is like The Ugly Duckling. This is like Cinderella, if you couldn't guess. Is there a slipper? There's the slipper. And Once Upon a Tower I also have, and that is a take on Rapunzel. So very exciting. And I mean, they don't really have okay, so let me show you the backs too. It's like a little bit of the backs have their own cute little partial step back. Sorry, trying not to make it glare, but they're really cute. I'm really excited about this series. I can't believe I have all 5 books. Speaking of Eloisa James, I got for 50 cents. I'm not even joking. Mistletoe Christmas. It's an anthology with some great stories by different people. We've got Eloisa James, Christy Caldwell, Jenna McGregor, and Erica Ridley. And this got 3.79 on Goodreads. And I'm really excited. I want to read it this December and maybe vlog about it. I'm not sure, but I love a good Christmas romance. So when I saw this, I had to scoop it up. I nabbed this one from the free little library the other day. I swapped it out for a book I accidentally had 2 of. Oops, I guess that happens to all of us, right? Anyway, I was dubious because I was like, well, I don't know anything about Joanne Ross, but this it got 4.05 on Goodreads. So I was like, oh, cool. It's part of the Honeymoon Harbor. This is book number 3, and it's a small town romance. It's set in the Pacific Northwest, which I'm an East Coast gal. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest, unless you count, well, no, I've been to San Diego. That's not the Northwest. Hello, maps. Hello, directions. Anyway, but I am fascinated by that area. I would love to visit at some point. So I guess I'm going to be visiting this summer because it's a perfect summer read in my mind. It's about a guy named Gabe. He's overworked. He goes to this small town. He falls in love with a librarian, which for me was the dream job for a very long time. I always wanted to be a librarian. Maybe I'll volunteer. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so he falls in love with her, and then he has to decide, like, he has to go back to work in New York City or he can stay. Who knows what'll happen? Anything could happen, right? Kerrigan Byrne. I have heard this author so many times, but in reference to her book, The Highwayman. Now, I've never read The Highwayman. I've never read Kerrigan Byrne, but this got a 3.88 on Goodreads, and I was excited. This is book number 3 of the Devil You Know series. I love the cover. It's like a step back built right into the cover. And no, there is no other step back or anything, but it looks intriguing and I'm dying to read this author, so I'm going for it. But at some point I really need to read The Highwayman based on everything I've heard. Julie Garwood, Guardian Angel. This is a pirate book. It does not look like a pirate book, but it is. I got this for 50 cents and I was excited because I wanted to read this anyway as part of my try a chapter challenge for my pirate romance books that I'm going to be reading later this month. And I only found this in ebook, so I was kind of bummed. And then when I saw it for 50 cents at the used bookstore, I was like, yes, great. And it got 4.15 on Goodreads. So I was really excited about that. And it's book number 2 of the Crown's Spies series. The first one I did look, it is not a pirate book at all. So it's kind of interesting that she chose to do a historical romance pirate book when the first one is just a regular historical romance, from what I understand. But regardless, I'm excited to try this, and you'll be seeing it in my pirate romance video. Shameless plug alert. Speaking of stores like Target, I've also been to Walmart recently, and okay, which one? So at first, okay, Walmart is doing like redos of Lisa Kleypas books. And one of these I did buy at Walmart for $7.40, which I was like, okay, it's 2 books in one though. So that's still a deal. That's still a lot less than I would pay per book. And then the other one, this one I got for $4 and it's 2 books. So that's like $2 a book. So, and this was at a used bookstore. But I was really excited because we have, these are part of the Hathaways series. We've got Seduce Me at Sunrise and Tempt Me at Twilight here, and Married by Morning and Love in the Afternoon. So all that's left is I need a single of Mine Till Midnight, and then I've got them all. There's also, little known fact, the Hathaway Wedding, which you can find online. I'm going to be doing Hathaways beginning next week in my Summer with Lisa Kleypas series, and I will have the link to the Hathaway Wedding in my Seduce Me at Sunrise video, because that is the book that's Kev and Wynn's wedding. So it's meant to be read after book 2 of the Hathaway series. So probably too much information for a book haul, but that's okay. So I've never read Lindsay Sands. I've always wanted to, and I want to try paranormal romance. Maybe this October would be kind of fun. But I found 2 of her vampire books for, what was this? This was 50 cents. This was also 50 cents. I got them at different times. And look, oh, does this bring you, well, never mind, no, not that one. So this, believe it or not, I actually found book 1 of the series, and it got a 3.9. So I was like, okay, cool. This is not book 2, not book 5, but book number 27 of the series. The series, by the way, is called the Argano series. Yeah, so anyway, there are 35 books in this series, and the 35th is yet to be published. I believe it's coming out this fall, and it's called After the Bites. So I don't know how many books are going to be in this series, but if there's 35, it has to be good, right? Although I will be honest, I was really excited for the J.R. Ward vampire series, and right away I realized it was not for me. So this may be the same, but I want to try it out. And again, this was $1 total, so not a big loss if it's not my thing. Coming back to The Little Mermaid again, I found this of Triton. It's actually YA. I can't remember the last time I read YA. It's been a little while. It's been a hot minute. I've got an 8-year-old, so we're under YA, and I'm just too old for YA, believe it or not. Or maybe not. I mean, people love YA. So now I'm going to stop talking about that. Anyway, so this is book 2 of the Serena Legacy of, there's only 3 books, but there's like a ton of novellas. And it's about a girl who's like part mermaid. And from what I understand, it's like the human world versus the mermaid world, and there's fighting, and there's some cute romance apparently. So I thought, oh, this might be fun to try, especially in the summertime. So I'm going to give it a whirl. And it's a 3.97 on Goodreads, which I adore. It's a good number. So, believe it or not, I've never read Julia Quinn, and I've never seen Bridgerton except for the first 2 episodes twice, because there's no time that I can find to watch them because I have children. Everybody I know said to me, you gotta see it, but not when the kids are around. So I was like, okay. So I've seen the first 2 episodes, but it was a long time ago, and we just got a TV in front of our treadmill and elliptical. So at some point, I'm going to start exercising, and when I do, I'm going to watch Bridgerton. So I was very excited, though. I got, for a variety of prices, I just got The Duke and I, the original. And look at the step back on the back cover. Beautiful. So this, obviously, for those of you, I'm sure just about everybody knows, it's book 1. And I also have, this was a 3.82, by the way. This was a 3.82, by the way. And we have book 2, The Viscount Who Loved Me, which is 4.05, much more highly rated. And number 3, I got this for $5. Why did I pay so much at the used bookstore? I could have probably grabbed it at some point at another time, but whatever. The other ones were mostly 50 cents. This one is a 3.95 on Goodreads. I do not have number 4, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, but I'm on the lookout for it. I love a good hunt. I also have number 5, To Sir Philip with Love, which got a 3.77. I heard this one might be the most controversial, but I could be wrong. I'm looking forward to reading all these and finding out. And then I've got number 6, which is a 4.01, another one of the most highly rated. And I need number 7, It's in His Kiss. So I'm gonna be on the lookout for this one too, which I can't wait to do. And I also have number 8. I actually have 2 copies of this one by accident, so this will go in the free little library. It's a 3.85 on Goodreads, so looking forward to it. I have 6 of the 8 books, and it took me a couple months to grab them all. And let's see how long it takes to get the other 2. I am ready to hunt. But wait, there's more. So there are prequels to the Bridgerton series. I don't know if that's news to you. It was to me. So I'm actually going to do something I rarely do, which is read the books in order. And I have the first 2 of 4 of the prequels to the Bridgerton series. It's known as the Rokespies. And I was so excited to get both of these. And I got them for $6. They're a little more expensive. I don't know why I do. I couldn't help myself. I had to get them, even though they're a little more expensive. But still, they were used books, and I got a special price. So that's pretty good. This one. Okay, so this one's number 1, and it got a 3.94. This one is number 2, and it also got a 3.94. Interesting. They both got the same thing. Weird. So anyway, there's 2 more I need to grab, but here's something else fun. So I'm going to put this down for a second. I got this and I was really excited. Whenever I can find a 2-for-1 deal on Audible, I generally pick it up lately. And so this was on Audible as part of the 2-for-1 deal. And the other one that I found that was recommended to me, so they know me, was, and I'm going to put it up here because obviously I don't have a physical copy. It's Tessa Dare's Any Duchess Will Do, which is the Spindle Cove series. It's number 4, and it actually got a 4.04. I have never read Tessa Dare. I am dying to do so. So when I found out that I could do a 2-for-1 with this book, I was so excited. So even though it's not a physical book, I'm counting it as part of my book haul deals. So it's in the book haul. Did I mention I was doing a pirate romance video with it? I did? Well, guess what? Cressley Cole, who I had never read before, I'm currently reading The Captain of All Pleasures by her as part of my pirate video. And this is part of her Immortals After Dark series. This is another one I've never read this series before, but I really like what I'm reading right now by Cressley Cole. And this got a 4.34, which is like a really, really good rating. It's number 5 of the Immortals After Dark series. The last one is number 18, which was out this year. So I don't know how many she's planning on doing, but I'm really excited to read a paranormal romance by Cressley Cole because I'm really enjoying her prehistoric romance. her historical romance. Prehistoric. It's about dinosaurs. No. I bet there's something like that out there though. Anybody know? Let me know in the comments. Continuing with paranormal romance, I also got Night Magic. The cover I thought was super cool. Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's not at all. And it is an anthology, obviously, with some great authors. It's a 3.77, but I thought this might be kind of fun for, like, October, because there's a lot of Cooley. What am I saying? I'm losing my mind. Too many books, too much talking. I don't know. So we've got a werewolf in here, and then maybe like a stranger from the stars. I don't really know what that means. We have a bewitching medieval enchantress, and I'm a creature of the night. So I'm very intrigued, and I can't wait to try it. We also have Christina Dodd, who I've never read. I'm looking forward to reading. Wilder. You can guess what kind of wolf we have here. It is The Chosen Ones, Volume 5 of 5. I got the very last one. But it's a 4.13 on Goodreads, so I was like, let's give this a shot. So, looking forward to some werewolf love. Does that sound wrong? You know what I mean, right? If you saw my vlog for Devil in Winter, you are aware that I am super, super excited to read the series that sort of leads into Devil in Winter. And I'm not talking about the Wallflowers. I'm talking about The Gamblers of Cravens, which is several books and a couple novellas. And I got one of the books. I was so excited. I got this for 50 cents. This is the second book of the Gamblers for Craven series. And it features Derek Craven, which I've heard some people say is their #1 favorite hero ever by her, which I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. I can't wait. It's 4.18. And what else was I going to say? So I just can't wait. And I can't believe I was able to get this for 50 cents at a library book sale. Now I just need Then Came You, because that's the first book. Speaking of heroes I love, I also got this one. It's not the best. It's not in the best shape. Let's take a look at the step back. Yes. I'm sorry. I get really excited about Ethan Ransom. He might be my favorite hero ever of Elisa Kleypas. And I really do like McKenna from Again the Magic, and Sebastian, Lord St. Vincent from Devil in Winter, and like every other book in the Ravenels and Wallflower series. But I adore this man, and I love this book. This is probably my favorite Ravenels book. Now, I haven't read Devil in Disguise yet, so maybe I'm wrong, but it's going to be really hard to outdo this one. And when I found that I could have my own physical copy, I didn't even care that it's kind of like in older shape, because I just love it. And if I find a nicer copy, then I'll just switch them out, and this could go to like a free little library. But I was so excited for this. I just love this book so much, and I love Garrett, and I love Ethan, and I love them together. Back to Julia Quinn. So I feel like sometimes covers are like the Rorschach test of like what's in our brain. And I see two men when I look at these men. I see Richard Marx and Ian Somerhalder. And I know in my last book haul, I was already like, does this look like Ian Somerhalder? And it was a different guy. So I obviously have Ian Somerhalder very deeply embedded in my brain. Richard Marx, not so much. I don't know where, I don't know. But one of my good friends is actually obsessed with him for some strange reason, even though she was way too young to like him. So was I, very young. But anyway, I just messaged her with this picture. I'm like, does this look like Richard Marx? And she's like, yes. So, right? If you have no idea who I'm talking about, enjoy being young. Okay. Anyway, these are the two books from the Two Dukes of Wyndham series. We've got #1 and #2, 3.74 and a 3.6. I'm looking forward to reading these and just imagining Richard Marx and Ian Somerhalder. Let's be honest, I'm way more interested in Ian Somerhalder than Richard Marx, but maybe I'll lend this to my friend who's obsessed with him. We'll see. This shelf is almost full. It's getting there. I'm gonna need another shelf. I asked for a bookshelf, and he's like, oh, I'll make a shelf. Okay. Or a bookshelf. A bookshelf would also be nice. Anyway, so talking about two more, I've got two more that are historical romance that are not part of, well, they're parts of series, but I don't have the whole series. Actually, okay, so The Wilds of Lindo Castle, I mentioned that I have book #3. Now I have book #2, and I love the step back. Hello. You know, when I saw this, I thought of one word, yummy. Love the dress, love the looks, just yummy, just love it. It's a 3.87, but I love Eloisa James, so I'm gonna give this a try. And it sounds like a really good series. I also have Julia Quinn, Bevelstoke #1. It's a 3.9. And I also have book 3, which I mentioned in one of my other videos. It's 10 Things I Love About You. So there's only 3 books, and now I have 1 and 3. So now I'm on the lookout for #2. Ta-da! Thanks for helping me fill my shelf and listening along. This was a lot of books. 42 books, if I include 2 of these each, and also my Tessa Dare one that's obviously not actually on the shelf. It's on the shelf in spirit. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out this long. If you made it, you deserve a medal. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're reading on whatever device you're reading on. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye. I'm gonna go read. I'm a relatively new booktuber. I've been around about 3 months, and I'm working on building up my books. Today, I have my biggest book haul yet, over 55 books, and I have a feeling we're gonna fill this shelf. Hi, my name's Bea. Welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance, because nobody in these books is gonna feel the need to bend my nice bookmarks. Why? Just so you know how I do this, I only buy used books. So it's things I get at the library book sales, used bookstores, and even free little library. So I don't pay much for any books. The most you're gonna see for one of these books is $6. The greatest price you're gonna see for any of these books is $6. I'm still pretty new to the romance genre, but I'm really enjoying it. Gotta have my happy endings. And yeah, so I'm learning a lot, and why don't you join me as I continue to build up my library? I'm gonna start with 4 books by 4 different romance authors I've never read, but I'm really excited to try. The first of which is Beverly Jenkins, Destiny's Surrender. This is book 2 of the Destiny series, and it got a 4.18 on Goodreads. It's a historical romance that takes place on a ranch, and there's a marriage of convenience, but apparently some sizzling passions as well. So I'm excited to try Beverly Jenkins out. I've heard nothing but fabulous things. When I pick out books at book sales or whatever, I always use my Goodreads app, and I scan the book first to see if it's worth my time. Unless it's an author or a series I'm really excited about, I only pick up the book if it's a 4.0 or above. Sabrina Jeffries is another author I've heard a lot about, but I've never actually read her. Obviously, this is a historical romance based on this gorgeous cover. This is part of Duke Dynasty #4, and it got a 3.95 on Goodreads, which is pretty good. There's mystery surrounding murder, as well as a fake engagement that apparently turns real. I'm excited. So many booktubers I love really like Kerrigan Byrne. So when I saw this, I had to scoop it up. It's the second Kerrigan Byrne I own, but I've never actually read her yet. This is part of The Devil You Know series #2, and it got a 3.88 on Goodreads. I've heard though that a theme in her books are dark pasts and just more serious themes. And so I'm a little nervous about trying her out, but I think I can probably handle it. If you've ever been to my channel before, you know that I'm pretty obsessed with Lisa Kleypas. And I've heard 2 other names frequently mentioned to me as, if you like Lisa Kleypas, then you'd really like 2 other authors. One is Tessa Dare, who I still haven't tried yet, but I just got one of her books through Audible on sale. And that was in my last book haul. But then I just got this one, 10 Ways to be Adored When Landing a Lord. And it's part of the Love by Numbers series #2, and it got a 3.88 on Goodreads. I've heard that Sarah MacLean writes amazing heroes, and I love a good sweet hero, and so I'm really excited to try her out. And check out the step back. I love it. Beautiful dress. Oh, is that his leg? Huh. That looks uncomfortable. I lied, I had more than 4. Here's another one, Julie Garwood. I read the first chapter of one of her other books for my Try a Chapter challenge of pirate romance, and it was really intriguing. It wasn't the one I wound up going with, but it still looked really good. And I've heard incredible things about this author. This book got a 4.22 on Goodreads, and it's a standalone. So I'm really excited to finally try her at some point. Also rather intriguing, this book is set in 1066. We're talking like the Normans, the Saxons. This is not a time period I've read ever. So I am really excited to give this a whirl. Speaking of other authors, I have one up and I haven't tried yet because I had one more. This is Catherine Coulter, The Countess. It's set in the Gothic period, which I picked this up at the pool. It was on the shelf. Nobody had even touched it. And so I swapped out a book I accidentally bought two of. And yeah, so I grabbed this from the pool. It's part of the Regency series. It's #1 and it got a 3.71. But like I said, this is set during the Gothic period, and it's actually a rewrite by Catherine Coulter because she wanted to make it more Gothic as opposed to Regency era. I was super intrigued by that. And here is they even talked about wanting to make the step back look Gothic, and I haven't seen one that looks like this. And I thought, oh my heavens, 3.71, who cares? Get out of here. I'm gonna try this book. Pretty neat. Speaking of gorgeous step backs, I've got two more for you. Did I buy these books because of the step backs? Yes, I did. But they also look really good. And I got them for like 50 cents. So we don't have to be up in arms about it, right? So this one got a 4.01. It's called Under the Desert Moon. And I mean, look at the raised writing. You know, it's so funny. I never cared about this stuff until I started watching booktubers talking about it. And I'm totally drinking the Kool-Aid now. I'm like, oh, it's raised, it's glossy, it's golden, it's beautiful. And then check out the step back. Are you ready? Is this not gorgeous? I love the moonlight on the water and her outfit with the hair. Oh my gosh, the flower. I believe that's a cowboy hat that he's pouring water on her leg. Look at this. Gorgeous. This is also historical Western. I did a ton of contemporary Western last month for my Try a Chapter challenge. But yeah, historical I haven't done yet. And they're talking stagecoaches here. We've got a woman who pretends to be a schoolmarm, but she's actually a sharpshooter. And he is a cowboy. This is in Santa Fe, by the way. And he has a Ute, I believe it's pronounced UTE, Native American companion who he is close with. Oh, and look, there's his gun, I guess, hanging on the thing, hanging on the branch. Very interesting. So I've shown you Mary Jo Putney step backs in the past, and it's funny, I've had people comment like Mary Jo Putney's step backs are just the best. Now this book is rated only 3.84. It is Petals in the Storm. It's part of the Fallen Angel series. It's #3. I'm telling you though, this step back, and I got this book for 25 cents at a library book sale, so I mean, come on. But look, this is gorgeous. Look at this. I mean, I'm loving the clothing. I'm loving the garden in the background. There's dancing going on. I love this ball. And then who put the barcode there? Who did that? I would like to know. It's so frustrating. Because you can tell there's a hand right there. There's something gorgeous behind this barcode. People, come on. Come on. Speaking of Westerns, I did get two more Westerns. One's contemporary and one is historical. Now this one I talked about in my Try a Chapter challenge for Western romance. I didn't wind up picking it, but it really does look like a good story, and I got this for 50 cents. It is a 4.16 on Goodreads. It's emotional. They've made a movie out of it with Clint Eastwood's son, whose name I cannot remember, but he's quite handsome. And I read a rom-com recently where they kept referencing the good looks of the main character as being whatever Eastwood. What is his first name? I cannot remember, but he's handsome. Anyway, The Longest Ride, which is, by the way, Life, in case you're wondering what The Longest Ride is. Here's an author I've heard a ton about. When I was researching Western romance novels, she came up a million times and she's got great reviews. This one particularly is 4.24 on Goodreads. It's #3 of the McKettrick series, Secondhand Bride, and it's a historical Western. I do want to try historical Westerns at some point, and when I do, she will absolutely be one of the authors that I try. So I'm very excited to have grabbed this copy for 50 cents. And now for something a little bit different. I grabbed this, I read it, and I could not buy this. It's only a 3.78 on Goodreads, but I was so intrigued. I promise I'm not going to just read you the backs of books in here, but I have to read this. What if hidden in an old attic chest, Jane Austen's memoirs were discovered after hundreds of years? What if those pages revealed the untold story of a life-changing love affair? That's the premise behind this spellbinding novel, which delves into the secrets of Jane Austen's life, giving us this untold insight into her mind and heart. And it talks about how she falls for someone who has such faith in her that she actually decides to rewrite Sense and Sensibility. I was just too intrigued by this not to get it. And so I'm really interested to give this a whirl and see what it's like. Here's another super random one. I couldn't help myself. Down with Love. This movie is one of my favorites. Whenever I'm not feeling well, I pop this in. It's like the 60s on steroids. It's ridiculous and it's super fun. There's music and it's just so cute. This book only got a 3.28 though. I mean, but again, I got it for 50 cents. So, but it's even got pictures from the movie inside. And so if you liked this movie at all, first of all, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, see if you can find it and watch it. It's just so good. It'll make you laugh and smile. But yeah, I'm going to read this and see what I think. If you've seen some of my videos in the past, if you've seen some of my fantasy videos, you are aware that I'm into Sarah J. Maas. Thanks. And although I still haven't been able to grab myself a copy of A Court of Wings and Ruin, I did snatch the next novella, A Court of Frost and Starlight. So this is like book 3.5 in the series. Now this one only got a 3.80, whereas all the rest of them are at least 4 stars and above. So I'm really excited to try this one. Actually, this month I'm going to be reading A Court of Wings and Ruin, and I got but next I'll be reading this, and I'm really excited that I own it. Okay, Brown Eyed Girl, the Travises, number 4 of 4. This got a 3.67 on Goodreads. I nabbed it because it was contemporary Lisa Kleypas, and I was very excited about it. Since I purchased this book, though, I have read books 1 and 2 of the Travises, and if you saw my video recapping my reads in August, you will know that I pretty much detested books 1 and 2. I can't imagine a world where I will end up reading this. I am most likely going to be donating it, but I'm gonna peruse it and see. You never know. Or maybe you do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have filled my top shelf. And I only have one more shelf. This is going to be a problem. So speaking again of romance booktubers who I love and authors that they seem to love, we've got 4 books by Stephanie Lawrence. I own 2 of hers already, and I have not found one I'm jiving really well with. I did Lord of the Privateers for my Tri-Chapter Challenge for Pirate Romance, and then I started her Bastion Club series with The Lady Chosen, but I only got about 100 pages into that. I do have 2 more books from Bastion Club because I would really like to try these out. This is book number 4 at 4.09 on Goodreads. This one scored a 4.16 on Goodreads, and it is number 8 in the series. Before we move on though, I want to show you these beautiful step backs. I love the colors and the fabric. Just gorgeous in the way the sun hits. Beautiful. It almost looks like ocean waves. Lovely. And then for this one, beautiful. I love cherry blossoms. I don't know if that's what these are, but that's what it's giving me vibes of. It's giving me cherry blossom vibes. And I love her dress. Just beautiful. See, the barcode's not in the way, people. It can happen. The other 2 books I have for her are part of the Sinster series. We've got A Secret Love and We've got A Rogue's Proposal and A Secret Love. This is book 4 and this is book 5. Out of 32? And the 32nd was published this year, so there could easily be more. 32 books in the series. Wow. That's amazing. This one does not have a step back. Oh, number 4, this one is a 4.08 on Goodreads, and this one is a 4.17 on Goodreads. These are all very highly rated. Before we move on though, check out the one with the step back. Love the colors. Looks like we're really going garden in these. Speaking of Stephanie Lawrence, I actually got an anthology that I'm super excited about, and it looks like it's set in winter, so I think I'm gonna read it this winter. It's called It Happened One Night. This is so cool. It's these 3 authors, Stephanie Lawrence, Mary Ballow. Oh, it's 4 authors. Stephanie Lawrence, Mary Ballow, Jackie D'Alessandro. I hope I said that right. And Candace Hearn. Now, what they've done is they've each imagined what would happen if a woman staying in an inn encountered a man. That sounds really silly. I told you I wasn't going to read you the back of any more books, but I'm going to read you the inside here, the step back. This is beautiful, by the way. Oh my gosh. Does this not give winter vibes or what? Okay, I'm going to read this. I'm very sorry. 4 romantic stories by 4 best-selling authors. When they were young, he was her protector. Now they meet again, and she's ready to be his lover. So that's one of them. Also, after a stagecoach accident, a beautiful lady is rescued by a charismatic and charming stranger. Her husband. What? The 3rd retelling of this. 10 years ago, they said goodbye, but she still haunts his dreams and his fantasies. And the 4th retelling of this particular story, his was a life of heroism, hers a life of scandal, but neither forgot the passion that once burned between them. So I'm really excited by this. I think it's going to be really cool. Like I said, I am obsessed with Lisa Kleypas. I love her so much. And I got 4 more books to add to my collection. I grabbed this. It really wasn't $4.42. I don't know. They resold it again. And I love this. Look at can you tell that this is raised? It's like I thought someone had written on it, like over it, but it's like holiday berries and leaves underneath. It's raised. It's just beautiful. And there's a step back. There's Rafe Bowman and Hannah. I just love it. And of course, they are at, where the heck are they? Not Eversby Prairie. Set in Lillian and Marcus's home in Hampshire, which is just perfect. And I'm sure they're inside the library in Marcus and Lillian's home in Hampshire, which is just so perfect. I now have all of the Hathaway's books because I got both there's 2 books each in here, and then I got this Mine Till Midnight, which I was so excited by. This is the first in the Hathaway's series, and I just loved it. I just rated this as one of my top 10 books of the whole summer, and yeah, it's 4.08 on Goodreads, so I'm excited that I finally own it. There's no step back to this one, but that's okay. I got another Ravenel's book for 75 cents. I was so excited. Chasing Cassandra. This is number 6 in the series. Now all I need is number 2, Marrying Winterborn, and number 3, Devil in Spring. I have the library books because I'm doing my Summer with Lisa Kleypas challenge right now. So I've got all the books, but 2 of them are library books. Let's look at the step back. We've got Cassandra and Tom Severin. Could that dress be any more beautiful? Oh, it looks like there's this gorgeous winter ball. Oh, I can't wait to read this. It's coming up. I also got a book by Lisa Kleypas in the Capitol Theater series. I've never read a Capitol Theater series book before. This is number 2, and it got a 3.96 on Goodreads. So I'm excited to try this out, and I'm going to read the books in order. So if I don't buy the first one before then, I'm going to check it out from the library. I just realized you can't really see as I'm adding the books on the second shelf. So there they are. Anyway, talking about authors I'm obsessed with. I love Lisa Kleypas, but if I'm going Highlander, my favorite for now is Paula Quinn. And I actually got 3 books by her at some various used book sales. And one is Tamed by a Highlander. I love this one. This is book 3 of the Children of the Mist series. It got a 4.07 on Goodreads. I love the Children of the Mist series so much, and this is the only one I own, but you better believe I'm on the lookout for the other 3. I also nabbed number 5 of the McGregor's Highland Heirs series. This I'm going to be reading at Christmas time. It's a Highlander's Christmas Kiss. It's 3.81 on Goodreads, and I couldn't be more excited about it. I was also able to grab number 7, Laird of the Black Isle, which is a 4.21 on Goodreads. That is so high. And again, like, I just love her so much, and I love her Highlander books. So I'm really, really looking forward to reading this. I'm trying to read one of her Highland Heirs books per month until I get through the entire series. I do want to try some other Highland authors. So I grabbed 2 other ones that are very highly rated. This first one is number 3 in the Scots and Swords series of 3 books. It got a 4.58 on Goodreads. And then I realized there were only 259 reviews. So that may be part of why it's scored so high. But it looks really intriguing, and I'm excited about trying it. I also grabbed Truly Madly Plaid by Eliza Knight, and this got a 4.13 on Goodreads. It's number 2 out of 3 books in a series for Prince Charlie's Angels, like Charlie's Angels, but it's Prince Charlie's Angels. Again, this got very, very highly rated, so I'm really excited to try it. And even the back, I guess it's like a step back. Oh, sorry. It can't focus for some reason. But it's a great picture. It's like a step back. Very cool. So I got a lot more Highlander books, and they're all in the same series, Highland Brides by Lindsay Sands. I have never read Lindsay Sands before, and for a little while before I really understood romance novels, I thought Lindsay Sands and Lisa Kleypas were the same person. I have no idea why. But anyway, yeah, I've got a lot of the Highland Brides series, so let's talk a little bit about these. They're all highly rated. I don't know a lot about Lindsay Sands, though. I don't know a lot about Lindsay Sands. I get the impression that there's a lot of steaminess and maybe not a lot of plot. Like, I don't get that it's overly complicated, but from what I understand, there's not a lot going on plot-wise. So I got all these for like 25 to 50 cents. So if I don't love the style of writing, it's not that big a deal. But I thought I really want to try to get this series and see. So, because it might be a lot of fun, and they're all super highly rated. So here we go. We've got number 1 in the Highland Brides series out of 11 books. This is a 3.90, and it's called An Irish Bride in Scotland. Looks good. Number 2, a 3.97, To Marry a Scottish Laird. This one has a step back. Something I've noticed about these step backs, it's like it's more interesting on the cover than the step back, I will say. This is a beautiful landscape, and I'm guessing this is heather, you know, and here's a loch, of course, right? And I love her dress. It's beautiful. But you're going to start seeing what I'm talking about in just a minute in terms of less interesting step backs than covers. I don't have number 3, but I do have number 4. Let's talk about this cover, please. Falling for the Highlander. And when I think falling, I'm thinking of, you know, somebody needs to help him with this. It is falling. That may be why this is the title, because, okay. I mean, I'm not complaining, but the poor thing needs a better fit for his kilt. When I saw this cover the first time, I was like, oh my gosh. This is number 4 of the series. It got a 3.94 on Goodreads. And yes, I have this. I also don't have a number 5, which is Surrender to the Highlander. And that one got a 4.05. So I'm on the lookout for number 5. Number 6, with 4.04 on Goodreads, The Highlander's Promise. And the promise is to have fabulous abs. So this is the cover. And then here's the step back. I see seagulls and water. I mean, it's pretty, but of course there's a ton of stuff on top of it. So it kind of takes me out of it. It's an underwhelming step back at best, I feel. More going on in the cover here. Number 7, 3.96 on Goodreads, The Wrong Highlander. if he's the wrong Highlander, was she looking for a dry Highlander or an unattractive or nerdy looking Highlander? I don't know. What's the wrong Highlander? Here we go again. Step back. Waterfall. Flowers. Okay. Number 8, hunting for a Highlander. And I'm guessing she's hunting for this Highlander because I mean, look at the castle in the background. This is a pretty cool cover. This got 4.09 on Goodreads. And again, look at I don't know. I mean, the castle, it doesn't look that great. I can't describe it. And I don't understand why they're doing just scenery for step backs, but okay. And I am missing number 9, which is a Highland Treasure, which was 4.11 on Goodreads. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that one. I don't have number 11, but I do have number 10, Highland Wolf. Highland Wolf, again, we're getting close to showing some tush here. So lucky that the water was as high as it was. I don't know. I'm just curious to see what these books are like. We'll see. I'm wondering how deep these are based on the covers. I know I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I'm wondering. I have 2 more Lindsay Sands that are not part of the Highland Bride series. I've got Lady in Disguise, and the sticker for 50 cents was on his face, and I took it off, and then look what it did to his face. Man, who did that? Who put the sticker on the face? And then I've also got The Chase. This is number 3 of 3. It got a 4.05. Looks good. And then this one is a standalone. It got a 3.87. So we shall see just how magical it is. But yeah, both of these look like they're really going to be good. I'm especially excited about this one. This one was published more recently. And like I said, it's got a higher rating at 4.05. So I'm going to give these a whirl as well. So I'm still continuing with the Highlander thing, but now we're talking paranormal as well. So I have had so many of my viewers tell me to check out Karen Marie Moaning. Moaning. Interesting. Okay. I didn't think about that until I just said it out loud. But anyway, she does werewolf Highlanders. And people have said it's very good. I got this at a book sale and I was like, okay, I'm excited to try this. And I'd like to try it in October because werewolves, Halloween, all that good stuff. So this is number 6 of the Highlanders series. It's just called the Highlanders. And it got a 4.30 on Goodreads. So we're werewolves, we're Highlanders. Interesting, let's do it. That's all I need to know. We've also got, yes, another Lindsay Sands Highlander book with Hannah Howell, who I know is an author in her own right of romance novels. This got a 4.20 on Goodreads, but this is not a werewolf. This is a vampire. So we got vampire Highlanders and werewolf Highlanders. What else will we see? What will we see next? Cressley Cole. I really enjoyed her pirate book that I read for my Tri-Chapter Challenge of Pirate Romance. So when I saw another Immortals After Dark book, because a lot of people really like that series, there's 18 books. I have the 5th one, and now I have the 6th one. And this one got a 4.31 on Goodreads, so I am really eager to try this. Okay, I am so excited. I have been trying to collect all of the Bridgerton novels and all of the Rokesby novels, which are the Bridgerton prequels. Well, I finally completed my set. I got book 4 and book 7. This is a 3.97 on Goodreads. This is a 4.01. This spring, I am planning on reading all of these, watching the first 2 seasons, putting it all up on YouTube. I'm really, really excited, and I can't believe I finally finished. Now I have the whole collection of the series, and it only cost me a few dollars, so that was really exciting. But I also wanted to show you, this one has a step back, and I thought this was lovely. That's kind of nice. Is that early 90s hair though? Is that the puffy shirt from Seinfeld? Yeah, it's beautiful though. As I said, I got the other 2 Rokesbys. Now I have all 4. I've got First Comes Scandals, which is the last book in the series, the 4th, and it's got a 3.82 on Goodreads. This one got a 4.02 on Goodreads, and this is number 3 in the series. I already have Because of Miss Bridgerton, which is number 1, and The Girl with the Make-Believe Husband, which is number 2. I saw another Julia Quinn that I didn't have. I had to nab it up. This is part of the Smith Quartet, which I have heard a lot of good things about. This only got a 3.66 on Goodreads, so I'm a little wary about it, but I've heard good things about the series, so I'm going to try it. Christy of Christy Reads a Lot would be proud because I have quite a few Lorraine Heath here. Actually, maybe she wouldn't be proud. She's got way more. Does she say how many in her video, her Lorraine Heath video, how many Lorraine Heath books she has? I need to know. I can't remember. But yeah, I know I don't have that many. Anyway, I'm going to start with her most recent series, I believe. I am not an expert on Lorraine Heath, but I want to be. This is number 1 of the Once Upon a Dukedom series. It got a 3.94. It was published last year. Scoundrel of My Heart. Very excited. And I also have number 2, which is The Duchess Hunt. It was published in 2021 as well. And the only one I don't have, I mean, there could be more beyond 3 because the third one was published this year, The Return of the Duke, which got a 4.05 on Goodreads. So I am excited to try this. So there are 6 books in her Sins for All Season series, and I have 4 of the 6. I'm very excited. I'm missing numbers 1 and 2, but I do have number 3, The Scoundrel in Her Bed, with a 3.94 on Goodreads. I have The Duchess in His Bed, which got a 3.66 on Goodreads. Number 5 at 3.92 on Goodreads, The Earl Takes a Fancy. And the last one, Beauty Tempts the Beast, number 6 of 6 at 4.17 on Goodreads. Very exciting. You would think I got all these at the same time, but I collected them over months. So this one is number 1 of the London's Greatest Lovers series, and it got a 3.80 on Goodreads. I am only missing number 2, which is The Pleasures of a Notorious Gentleman. This is book 3 of 3, Waking Up with the Duke, and it got a 4.03 on Goodreads. I have 5 more books, and this is how much space I have left. Is this gonna fit? It's gonna fit. It's going to fit. Okay, let's do this. It's gonna just fit. And then I'm gonna ask. So I've been trying to collect more of Eloisa James's The Wilds of Lindo Castle. I already have My Last Duchess, which is the prequel, considered 0.05 or 0.5 of the series. This is book 1, Wild in Love, and check out the step back. Gorgeous. I love it. This got a 3.81 on Goodreads. I have book 2, which is Too Wild to Wed, and book 3, Born to be Wild, but now so I don't have book 4, but I do have book 5, Say Yes to the Duke, and check out this step back. It's a more close-up than I'm used to seeing, and I love the detail. Beautiful. 3.88 on Goodreads. Number 6, The Wilds of Lindo Castle, at 4.05, Wild Child. Now my books are falling. I mentioned in my last book haul video that I fell in love with romance through Eloisa James's Desperate Duchesses and Desperate Duchesses by the Numbers, and I wanted to have them for myself, and I have 2 of them. I have 2 more now. I already have Desperate Duchesses number 1 and Affair Before Christmas number 2. Now I have number 3, which is Duchess by Night. It got a 3.92 on Goodreads, and here is a beautiful step back. Love it. And I have book number 9, 7 Minutes in Heaven, which also has a lovely step back. See, I feel like if they're gonna do scenery, this is how it's done. I think these look much better than the Lindsay Sands Highlander ones, but that's just my opinion. These books were all terrific. I love them. There's 9 books in the series, so this is the last. It got a 3.95 on Goodreads. So now you can watch me try to make these all fit on my shelf. These are my last two. And they just fit. Let's take a look. Yes. They're not even the same length. I don't know. So, honey, I'm gonna need another shelf. Well, it finally happened. I have bookshelves. This is so exciting. And in this video, we are going to go through all of my books. Yes, all of my books. And we are going to figure out where they're all going to go. Hi, my name's Bea. Welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance. And also, put books on my shelf! This is happening. I'm so excited. I finally have a place to put my books, and I'm going to be organizing them by author and genre, and we'll see whatever else happens. I'll be breaking them down by series for you as well. I'm honestly not sure how this video is going to turn out, but hopefully it'll be good and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So I guess let's just get started sorting. So they're all sorted and in different groups. So now it's time to start putting them on shelves. And I guess might as well start with Lisa Kleypas. Let's start with, again, The Magic, the prequel for the Wallflower series. I love all of these step backs. I was so lucky to get so many. This one has a check mark on it, but that's okay. I didn't have Devil in Winter, so here we are, Scandal in Spring. Another step back. Now we are in the Hathaway series, no step back there. And then I got these at either Walmart or a sale, so they're 2 books in one. But at least I have them. Now Ravenels. I have a lot of step backs here. I'm very lucky. This is where I remember that I have Devil in Winter, not Devil in Spring. So I do have Devil in Winter from the Wallflowers. Got to put that in the right spot. And I still need Devil in Spring. I always get those two confused. But here we are, 4th book in the series, Hello Stranger. Love, love, love. So many amazing step backs. This one didn't come with a step back, the newest one from like 2021. The one of these is a rewrite for the other. I can't wait to read both of these. So excited to have both books of the Stokehurst series. Haven't read any yet, but looking forward to it. I have also all of the Bow Street Runners series. Love the step back. And Lady Sophia's Lover, I actually have a copy with an alternate ending. So I'm going to keep that and hopefully find the first one. Gamblers of Craven series. Very excited. Check this one out. I love this cover so much. And the step back. And that's Derek Craven. I haven't read this yet, and I'm kind of holding off because I just want it to live up to the hype. Now, this is an anthology, but I'm putting it in here because it's 2.5 of Gamblers of Cravens, and I want it there. This is the only one I have of the Capitol Theater series. Here's a standalone. Look at the cover. And the step back. Suddenly You, a lot of people's favorites. Gorgeous. I love that cover. These are all standalone, by the way. Just gorgeous. Well, that's Lisa Kleypas for you, what I've got so far. Let's go to the next one I have the most of, probably Eloisa James. So here we have Desperate Duchesses by the Numbers. Well, it's Desperate Duchesses and Desperate Duchesses by the Numbers. But together they're like one long series of 9 books. I read them all. This was the first series I ever read in romance after watching an interview of Eloisa James on CBS Sunday Morning of all things. Now here are the first 3 books. This is probably my favorite, actually, that one. And I love the step back. I don't have 4 or 5, but this is 6. Love that. And then I don't have books 7 or 8, but I do have 9. This was a great one too. For people that enjoy landscapes. Now we're into the Wilds of Lindo Castle. This is the prequel. I have not read this series yet, but I'm very excited to do so. Book 1. I have all but one of the books in this series. I just love these. I mean, oh my gosh, the step backs are so gorgeous. That one doesn't have a step back, those stinkers. They made it look like it. I don't have book 4, but here's book 5, Say Yes to the Duke. Book 4 is Say No to the Duke. That's not confusing. And here's book 6. The fairy tale series. I'm going to be doing this one beginning in January. That's Cinderella. Then we have Beauty and the Beast, book 2. There's so many novellas, but I only own the novels. Here's The Duke Is Mine, book 3, based on The Princess and the Pea. The Ugly Duchess, based on, of course, The Ugly Duckling. You see a swan in the background there. And Once Upon a Tower, we got Rapunzel, basically. Look at the castle in the background. I'm so excited to get into this series. The Duchess Quartet, I actually have 3 of the 4. That's the first one. We have the second one. This is really neat. I love that she's reading a letter. It's really critical to the plot. I do not have book 3, which is A Wild Pursuit, but that was book 4. And then this is part of Would-Be Wallflower series. I just read book 2 that came out in November. Okay, so that's my Eloisa James, what I've got so far. And maybe I'll put something like fancy and fun here. You know, people put decorations and stuff. I'll figure that out. Anyway, let's do my next biggest one, which is probably Julia Quinn. The Bridgerton prequel, The Rokesbys. I've got all 4 of those. I'm very proud. I have all of the Rokesbys and all of the Bridgerton. Have I read any of them yet? No. But I'm going to be in 2023 leading up to the 3rd season coming out. Have I watched it yet? No, I have not. But I'm going to be doing that as well. Looking really forward to that. I think I have like 1 step back for all of these. How many is that? 10 books? Or no, is it 8? And 1 step back. There it is. Is it 12? Is it 8 in the Bridgerton and then Force Goodnight 12? Oh, there's another step back though. These look very 80s to me. The poodle hair and this palm fronds or whatever. Richard Marx is one of the 2 Dukes of Wyndham. I actually have both of the books in the series, believe it or not. Is it a series if there's only 2? Ian Somerhalder is the other Duke of Wyndham. The Bevelstoke series, it's 3 books and I have 1 and 3. So I need 2. And then this is book 4 of the Smythe Smith Quartet. I think I'm going to stop just buying random Julia Quinn books. This is book 2 of the Linden Sisters series. And this is book 3 of the Splendid trilogy. Well, that's it on Julia Quinn. Now I'm going to put something else on the shelf. I have a lot of Stephanie Laurens. I started out this journey really being excited about her, and so far, as I've read 4 of her books, or parts of, I haven't finished any of them. I'm not quite jiving. This is Bastion Club. You saw book 1, and this is book 4. I have quite a few of her books. This is book 8 of Bastion Club. I'm just hoping that I connect with her as an author. For some reason, I just can't sink into the pages. This is book 4 of the Sinster series. And this is book 5. I love the step back. What do you guys think of her? This is book 8. If I'm not able to connect, I might go ahead and donate all of these. This is book 11 of the Sinster series. There are quite a few in this series. And then we have book 19. I really want to like her. Here's book 20. And this is book 1 of the Case Book of Barnaby Adair. It's like a mystery. I actually might start here. It sounds pretty fun, the premise. But what do you all think? Is there a good book I should start with? Here is a standalone. Another historical romance author I'm excited about, but haven't really started much yet. Lorraine Heath. I read one of her short stories at Christmas and I loved it. So I'm really looking forward to getting into her. And this is all I've got so far. I have books 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the Sins for All Seasons series. Just, of course, needs 1 and 2. I've heard it's quite good. I want to read that and then Eloisa James's Beauty and the Beast. See how they're different. This is number 1 from London's Greatest Lovers, and later on I'm going to realize I'm missorted and I have another one. Here's book 2 from The Scoundrels of St. James. And Rogues in Texas, number 1. I think this is the only Texas-based book that I've gotten. Now let's look at authors I'm newly obsessed with. Stud Club number 1, Tessa Dare. Loving Tessa Dare so much. I bought a new copy of this one. Well, it's still used, but it was a fresher copy. This is Spindle Cove number 5, Castles Ever After number 4. Love that. And I just remembered that the old Duchess deal I have that I gave to my mother-in-law has the nice step back. So now I need that. This is also Castles Ever After number 3. I've heard good things about that one. Sarah MacLean. This is what I have for her so far. The first 2 of the Hell's Bells series. I can't speak. Then we've got Bare Knuckle Bastards. Sorry for the language. This is book number 3. And Love by the Numbers number 2. Whatever I can grab, basically. Then Sabrina Jeffries. Haven't read her yet. Really excited to try various series here. And I thought this was supposed to be really good. I didn't get a chance to read it for Christmas, but I will. And there's the Lorraine Heath that I remembered. There we are. And that poor little willow tree character. Let's do ones with gorgeous step backs. Thanks to my incredible online friends, I found out about Amanda Quick's step backs. They are incredible. Just gorgeous. This looks like the same woman, I think, that's posed for many of these, which I think is really cool. This one says, please remember to return me. Someone never did. They sold it instead or gave it away. These two don't have a step back, but they are Amanda Quick, so they're going in the same area. Catherine Coulter, The Countess. I have to say, one of my online friends said, oh, I read that book. And I said, oh, great. It's a gothic romance. She said, well, I read it. I didn't say I liked it. I thought that was so funny. I don't know if you read it, but I'm excited about it. I love the step back. This one, too. Oh, my gosh. I have not read this author yet, but I'm just so in love with this step back, really. And the cover. Galen Foley, also not read this person yet, but I really like the cover, and I've heard good things about this author. Now I will put something fancy in between. Oh, this is number 3 of the Silk Trilogy. Don't even get me started on Mary Jo Putney. Oh my gosh. So in love with this. Oh my gosh. I've only read, and I've seen, this is going to be Historical Hellions, I believe they're doing this, as well as Reckless that I just showed you up on the shelf above. I really want to try to do those book clubs. These are just insane. I can't wait to read more Mary Jo Putney. I fell in love with her. This is book 3, by the way, of the Fallen Angels series. But this is, I just fell in love with her after I read her Christmas novella, In the Bleak Midwinter. Oh, what a writer. This is book 4 of the Lost Lords series, and it looks like there's a step back, but there's not. Those little stinkers. Julie Garwood. This is book 2 of The Crown's Spies. I've heard fabulous things about that one. The Secret, Highland Laird's book 1. And I also have Highland Laird's book 2. I can't believe I have both of them. And there is a step back here. If you enjoy scenery, then you'll love it. I love the cover on this one too. This is a standalone, as is this one. This is book 1 of the Claiborne Brides, 1 pink rose, 1 white rose. Try saying that 5 times fast. But I've heard good things. And another standalone. I have a lot of Julie Garwood. This one is another hit, apparently. People say they love it. And this is book 2 of the Laird's Fiancés. Johanna Lindsay, Prisoner of My Desire. I love this hardback, and because I love the back cover so much. It's like a step back. The thing is, it's not going to fit anywhere, so I'm putting it here. This is going to drive me absolutely insane. I'm going to be up in the middle of the night at my bookshelf trying to fix the fact that my Lisa Kleypas starts with Johanna Lindsay. All right, Mary Balog, looking forward to trying her out. The Christmas Night. These are 2 Christmas books I did not get around to this past December. Oh my gosh, I've heard such good things. Clan Kendrick number 3. Beverly Jenkins, gotta read her this year. It's on my list. And we have All Scott and Bothered, The Devil You Know number 2, and Devil in Her Bed is The Devil You Know number 3. I really want to read Kerrigan Byrne. The grandfather of a little boy I tutored made this for me. He carved it himself and painted the feather on top. I love it so much. Let's talk Highlander, shall we? Start with Children of the Mist series, my personal favorite. I have books 3 and 4. Got to start there. And then her Highland Heirs series. This is book 5. Book 7. This is just what I could get my hands on. And book 8. So far, it's been kind of a miss for me as opposed to a hit or miss. Then we have Highland Brides. This is number 1. I have not read Lindsay Sands. Looking forward to it. Here's number 2 of the Highland Brides. Love that step back. Book 4. I'm obviously missing 3. I love these covers. Oh my gosh. Book 6. Obviously missing 5. Book 7. That's just underwhelming. That's just a disappointment after seeing the cover. Come on. Book 8. Even more disappointing. And here's book 10. I'm missing 9. Book 11 is coming out January 24th, 2023. And I actually got the ARC for that. So looking forward to that. This is Deed series number 3. A standalone. Another standalone. Murray Family number 3. These are really highly rated. I want to buy more of these and read them first. Number 11 of the Murray Family. Here is a standalone by Hannah Howell. This one was very highly rated, so I wanted to give it a try, as well as this one. I'm not familiar with either of those last two authors, but I'm excited to try. Enjoy the dust on my shelves that I should have dusted while I go into Highlander Paranormal. Here we have Highlander 1, Highlander 4. Everybody's talked to me about this series. I'm very excited to have this many. Number 5 of the Highlander series, number 6, and number 7. I have 8 on Audible, and I loved it. This is part of the Fever series. This is book 2, book 3, book 4, and book 5 has a step back. Check this out. This looks really interesting in terms of a series, but also obviously the step back. And book 6. There are more, but this is all that I have for the Fever series. Then we have the Argenu series, Vampires, with Lindsay Sands. This is number 1. There's like 35 Argeno books, by the way. So this is number 1, how I happen to have. And then we have number 27. So there's a few missing between 1 and 27. Then I have number 34. And I don't have 35. I'm assuming there will be more out. Here's number 1 of the McNaughton Vampire series, written by Hannah Howell and Lindsay Sands. And here's number 3 of that same series. Curious to see what those two authors do together. Immortals After Dark, number 3, Cressley Cole. I read a pirate book by her, really enjoyed it, looking forward to her paranormal. This is book 4 of the Immortals After Dark series. Book number 5. And book 6 of the series. The Chosen Ones by Christina Dodd. I believe this is Werewolf. I really like this step back. Want to give this a whirl. And Highland Knight. This is a cute time traveling one, it looks like. I'm going to put the purple ones together. Why not? Let's talk anthologies. You may have seen me talk about these in my Christmas haul. Oh, I loved that one. I haven't read all of them. Same with this. Really enjoyed these, but have not read all of the stories. Just grabbed that the other day at a book sale. I enjoyed 2 of the 4 of those. The other 2 I haven't read yet. Next December. Looking forward to it. This one's going to be really neat. I'm looking forward to that one as well this year. Fairy Magic looks like fun. I love the hearts. It made me think Valentine's Day. And then we've got St. Patrick's Day. I think those will be cute. They're not super highly rated, but I'm curious to try them out. And at least maybe one story should be good. Lady Whistledown. A lot of different authors on there. Royal Bridesmaids might be fun for spring. The Lady Most Likely, Julia Quinn and Eloisa James, who could resist? And then Night Magic, I tried that one at Halloween. It wasn't quite to my taste, but I'm going to try the other stories. These are not romance per se, but I'm using them to push these books up. Well, there you have it. It is done. Well, the first iteration of 5 million are done. I'm very, very pleased. I'm so excited. And in the coming months, I have 2 book hauls, one historical romance, and one is going to be a combo of paranormal, fantasy, and contemporary. And I also have a mystery box of romance novels for my mother-in-law that I need to open. So there's going to be a lot of changes. But this is a great beginning. Thank you for hanging out with me while I did this. It made it much more fun. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are enjoying whatever it is that you're reading, whether it's on a bookshelf that you just arranged or not. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye. I just got a slew of fabulous books, but now it's time to figure out where they go on my shelves. Why don't you join me today as I figure that out? Hi, my name's Bea, and welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance, and also figure out where to put them. What I want to do first is I need to organize these into fantasy, contemporary, and paranormal. Now to sort my new books along with these. It appears I could probably use my own shelf for contemporary, so let's start there. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, we're not gonna need this or this. I have to keep putting these up and away because my daughter keeps, now they're super interesting to her now that they're on a bookshelf and she keeps going for them. This is a duplicate of my wedding bouquet that my best friend made, and I really don't want her messing with it. So anyway, moving it. I think I'm gonna move this shelf up a little bit because I'm obviously gonna have two shelves going. Let's start with my very first ever arc. I love this book so much. Then we'll do my favorite Abby Jimenez. I've got the first 3 books in her Friend Zone series, which I completely fell in love with. Cinnamon Roll Heroes, contemporary romance, cute pets, laugh out loud funny, super relatable, kind of emotional, super page turners, all of those things. So I'm gonna put those in order. And then I also have Part of Your World, although I did ask my husband for a brand new iteration of this in hardback. I cannot wait. And then Yours Truly's coming out in April. I already ordered myself a signed copy. So those are gonna be going on the shelf soon, but here's what we have so far. And when I think of Abby Jimenez, I think of Emily Henry, so let's go there next. I already read Book Lovers and loved it. And then I know these are some of her other fun summer romances. I know she's got another one coming out this year, Happy Place. I'll probably be grabbing that one and popping it on my shelf as well. I haven't read these yet, but I want to read them this summer. So let's put these on the shelves. And then when I think of Emily Henry, I also think Tessa Bailey, so I can put both of those Bellinger sisters. I already had one, and then I grabbed another one. I forgot to sort it earlier. So we have book 1, It Happened One Summer, and book 2, Hook, Line, and Sinker. I want to read these this summer as well. Haven't read Tessa Bailey yet, believe it or not. Going along with super popular, super hyped romances, I'm gonna go for The Love Hypothesis. I haven't read this yet. I'm dying to do so. Just grabbed this for $1 at a library book sale. I now own 2 Christina Lauren. Read and loved this one. Looking forward to this one, putting these together on my shelves. This girl's gotten a lot of buzz for The Spanish Love Deception and The American Roommate Experiment. I'm reading this one right now and I'm so deeply in love. And this guy's a cinnamon roll hero too. So I'm gonna put him along with my Christina Laurens. And then another one of my favorite contemporary authors. I have not read this series yet. It's the Forever Yours series. There's also an ebook that's like a novella that starts it. But I have these. I'm going to be reading these this spring. I love Cara Bastone. She writes the best meet cutes around, and I cannot wait to jump into this series. Speaking of series, I know both of these are very much beloved. This is book 3 in the Brown Sisters series, and this is book 1 in the Romance Book Club series. So I'm really looking forward to jumping into both of these. This is the Friday Harbor series by Lisa Kleypas. I have 2 paperbacks and 2 hardbacks, and they're not even like the way they go. This is the order, which is so ridiculous. And then I bought another paperback, excited that I could at least make most of them paperback. And then it's the wrong size. So I might even just set this one down somewhere and we'll just see where we land with whatever ones. At some point, I'd like to get this series all uniform. Until then, it's going to look like this. It's going to drive me crazy. I've got several that I really love. This one is one of my favorite. This is technically women's fiction, but there's a romance element about a new mom. I just love it so much. I'm popping that on the shelf. The Switch looks really cute. A grandmother and her granddaughter switch places. One's country, one's city. They both find love. It looks really good. This one looks amazing. This is a gal who finds a man who's actually about to jump off a bridge, and she convinces him to give her 2 weeks to show him that life is meaningful, and they fall in love in the process. And it's supposed to be really life affirming. I can't wait to read this one. And this time next year, it may be fate, but they keep coming together. They were born 1 minute apart, and then 30 years later, they find one another again. One's had a lot of good luck, one's had bad, but fate keeps bringing them together. Can't wait to read this. Looks really interesting. And then this one might be more women's fiction, but it's a mom who's just trying to deal with motherhood, which totally spoke to me as a mom of 3. She's a writer and she accidentally gets mistaken for a hitman or hitwoman, I guess. It looks really funny and really heartwarming, and I can't wait to try it. That's like a full shelf. That's something. Wow. Okay, I'm really glad we put all of our contemporary romances on one shelf. Now, if you can see it, this next shelf needs to be paranormal and fantasy. It's basically fantasy, I think, is what I have here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to rearrange the size too, I think. This is the biggest book, so I'm gonna start with this one. And this is fantasy. Oh no. Okay, well, I can't move this up anymore. So this is just gonna be down here. Which is fine. We got off the page. This is a woman who wishes to meet the man of her dreams, who is a prince right out of a fairy tale. He actually does come into the real world, but unfortunately he has to switch places with someone who's in the real world, who then goes into this fairy tale. And that is a very good gentleman friend of hers. I can't wait to see what happens in this story. It looks really good. The spine is so pretty too. All right, I have a lot of Sarah J. Maas, so maybe we'll do that next. The first one, Court of Thorns and Roses. I was mentioning this in my book haul recently too. There's a map in every single one of these, and as the story progresses, the map gets more and more complex as you learn more about the world that this is set in, which is really cool. Book 2. Book 3, again, I bought all these used, so it took me forever to get this one. I was so happy when I finally got it. I actually wound up getting book 4, the novella, far earlier than The Court of Wings and Ruin. Just so funny. I also really enjoy listening to these on Audible. You can listen to them on any play through the company Graphic Audio, which makes it like a movie in your mind. They act it out. There's a whole cast, sound effects, music. It's really good. And then, of course, the final book in the series, Court of Silver Flames. This one's so thick, it's almost just like a cube. I have yet to read the Throne of Glass series, but I've heard 5 million amazing things about it. So I was able to get the 5 novellas that precede the first major novel. Down here, I have not yet read it. And these spines are gorgeous. Look at that. Love it. And then we have book 1. I can't believe I was able to nab this for $8. Again, look at the spines. This is book 1, Throne of Glass. I couldn't find book 2. Someday I will, but I do have book 3, Heir of Fire. Looks so awesome. And speaking of the way they look and how gorgeous they are, I've got the Parallel series, which is 4 books, 2 duets. It's all about 2 different women who time travel and the men who fall in love with them. It's really spicy. It's really intense. It was really, really good. Really romantic. Tears, happy and sad, but it does have a good ending at the very end. Very satisfying. And look how gorgeous these are. This is book 1, Parallel. Book 2, Intersect, which both takes place in our time. Then the second duet, Across Time and Across Eternity, both take place either in the 1980s or in the 1930s, France, right before World War II. So intense. These are just so gorgeous. I can't even believe I have them on my shelves. And then we have time travel romance. These two are both parts of other series. I don't know if I'll get more in the series. I'm hoping to. Ice Planet Barbarians, book 1. This is book 2 of the Stay a Spell series by Juliet Cross. This is an alien romance, and this is a witch and vampire romance. This is the book I loved most in the series, which is why I asked for it for Christmas. And this one, I just, it's gorgeous. And it's got 2 additional novellas, which is pretty cool. So I'll put these over here. We'll see if I ever end up getting more of either of the series. Yeah, I'm loving that. Maybe I'll put my flowers here. Then my 3-year-old's still gonna go after them, but maybe I'll just move her away. This is my paranormal romance section here. We've got paranormal Highlander books. We've got vampires and shapeshifters. This is my entire shelf for that. Now, the good news is I just got 2 more books in the Karen Marie Moning Highlander series. It is a time traveling series with Highlanders who come to present day or women who go back in time. And these Highlanders all have special gifts, and there are the Fae involved as well. Thanks to these 2 copies, I have every book in the series except for the 8th, which I own on Audible. So I've got number 1, Beyond the Highland Mist. Then we have book 2, To Tame a Highland Warrior. This mug's gotta go and decorate somewhere else because we're gonna make room on this shelf. Book 3, Highlander's Touch. Book 4, Kiss of the Highlander. Book 5, The Dark Highlander. Book 6, The Immortal Highlander. Book 7, Spell of the Highlander. We actually get to continue on with our Karen Marie Moning paranormal series because I also got book 1 of her Fever series. This series is really neat. It takes place in Ireland, at least in the beginning. It is a woman, she has supernatural powers she did not know existed until she gets to Ireland and she realizes that she can see things beyond the regular world into the realm of the Fae. This is book 1 I just grabbed for like 75 cents. Book 2, Blood Fever. Book 3, Fae Fever. These covers are gorgeous. Book 4, Dream Fever. Book 5, Shadow Fever, which has a gorgeous step back. I love it. Book 6, Iced. I do not have book 7, Burned, but I do have book 8, Fever Born. The last book in the series was published in 2021, which was the 11th book in the series. So we shall see if there are more. So there you have it, a full paranormal romance shelf. So the question then becomes, how am I going to feature books that I'm reading? Because I was putting them on this shelf, but now I have books in that shelf. So I have a plan. I have a Julie Garwood shelf and Kerrigan Byrne shelf right here. And this is what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna move them to the bottom because I haven't even read these yet. And yet they're front and center, which doesn't really make sense. Okay, so I've got my Kerrigan Byrne, my Julie Garwood right there, as well as the Lisa Kleypas that's random, and I just put that there. And then my daughter can play with the snowman. It's winter when I'm filming this, by the way. Now I've got a big hole. The next part of this you're gonna see is going to be my historical, so we'll be organizing that next. Okay, so I'm really loving this. Here's now where my Julie Garwood was, and now it's what I'm featuring what I'm currently reading. And look, now I have a Dream Lake here, because I am currently reading Dream Lake, but I can also have it right here. And I have The American Roommate Experiment, which I'm reading and really enjoying. So you can also see my TV, please ignore. So I'm really excited about my contemporary shelf and my fantasy paranormal shelf. And you guys also got to see, of course, my paranormal Highlander Karen Marie Moning shelf. So it's exciting. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It actually really helps me to talk this out with you guys. So thank you for helping me figure this out. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is that you're reading, whether you had to reorganize a bookshelf to get it there or not. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye. You might want to sit down for this. And if you're already sitting, you might want to sit more down. How do you sit more down? Well, if you're in a chair, maybe move to the floor. If you're in one of those desk chairs with like the pedal, you might want to pull that pedal so you can slide all the way down in that chair. Why? Because today we're reorganizing my historical romance books. I just can't take it anymore. I need your help. And we're gonna have fun. I said fun! The kids to a splash park, so I thought, oh my gosh, I have a couple hours. This is the perfect opportunity to finally organize my historical romance. Because I haven't even done anything with all my contemporary romance, my paranormal romance, and my fantasy. We have quite the task here. I'm not actually sure how this is gonna go down, but it's gonna be an adventure and you're gonna join me. So let's get started, and I feel like the only way to do that is to sort what we haven't shelved yet. Excuse the mess, but this is real life. I'm starting with authors, but then I'm also going to be sorting by like cool covers and things like that. So just giving you a little method to my madness here. I'm gonna set this one aside because I'm gonna be displaying it this summer. And I'm gonna have a section for books that I only have one author each of. One box down. That's 2 boxes already. I have a feeling I'm going to be putting my paranormal on the other side because I'm going to run out of space for historical romance. Let's just face it. Here's our after, and I might put this with my books that are also movies. Again, to make some space in my historical romance. Okay, that's the third box, but now I need to take from this area. Okay, I just filled another box. Oh, geez. This is where I realized that I have more than one historical romance, Cressley Cole. And this is where I realize I have 2 copies of the same book, and they both have step bags. And this is when I realized I have 2 Amelie Howard as well. Now, you may have seen this in my unhaul video, and I still have it because many people came back and said, if you want to read a Lindsay Sands that's good, Love is Blind is excellent. So I'm deciding to keep it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we got probably the easiest part done. Now comes the work. I'm actually eating my lunch while I figure this out. We're gonna just start at the bottom and work our way up. I wanna put my one author and cool book cover people down here. I think that's gonna work out well. All right, let's get going after I finish my salad. I'm gonna leave Stephanie Lawrence on the bottom because I only have one of hers. authors now. So I was just looking at other books that I have that I only have one for an author. This is the only Kathy Maxwell I own. I didn't realize that. So I'm putting that on the bottom shelf, and I'm going to add Marcia Canham and Galen Foley to the bottom shelf. Okay, my new dream for the second shelf is anthologies. Maybe I might even put some of the anthologies here on the very bottom because there's a little space, but not much. Anthologies, maybe Christmas books, and books that I have 2 or 3 of an author. I only own one Judith McNutt, so let's put that down here. Oh my gosh, I just had a brainstorm. Okay, so I'm looking at Christmas books. You know how you don't need to be looking at Christmas books year round. I'm gonna put them in the back on the bottom shelf. You know what else I just realized? I forgot to include Stacy Reed, although I definitely want to solve this problem of only having one of her books. She's just ridiculously difficult to find. Nobody ever wants to give her stuff up. And then the one Lindsay Sands I decided to keep. So these are also going on the bottom shelf. And now for the second shelf, anthologies and authors that I have 2 books of. Clear out that third from the bottom shelf, which is a complete disaster, and I'm going to start adding all the authors for whom I have 3 books. Oh, I think I figured out how to say that finally. So let's look at this shelf and talk about what on earth is happening here. But this is like more paranormal. So we're gonna move all of these and then it's gonna give me more room, thank goodness. Okay, now what I think I want to do is I want to take my Highlander, and look, we've got contemporary YA romance on its side there. It makes so much sense. You see why I couldn't stand this? I'm going to take my new Highlander, put it with my Highlander that I already own on this shelf. I'm gonna take these two, since I only have one of each for these authors, I'm gonna put them on the bottom shelf. Now we're getting into some nitty gritty here. I'm gonna do Sabrina Jeffries for the rest of this shelf. This is book 5 from The School for Heiresses. This is the only one I have for the Royal Brotherhood. These two are from the Sinful Suitor series. I have 3 from the Duke Dynasty, and these 3 are from the Hellions of Halstead Hall. I'm not worried about putting them in order because I don't have all in the series anyway, but they're at least grouped by series. Okay, so let's make this shelf authors for whom I have 4 or more. We'll start with Kerrigan Byrne. The Devil You Know Book 1, The Devil You Know Book 2, The Devil You Know Book 3, and this is Victorian Rebels Book 6. I have 5 books by Joanna Shoup. 2 are Uptown Girl. So glad she puts the series on the bottom. That really helps right now. I have books 1 and 3. Wicked Deceptions series, book 1 and 3 again. And this one is book 2 of the Fifth Avenue Rebels. And I'm really feeling like the strong, sassy heroines right now. So I'm gonna take my Sarah McLean and I'm gonna move them down. Okay, again, because I'm overwhelmed, I'm so glad that Sarah McLean has all of her books, not only the series, but the number in the series on the cover, which is so nice. Except for this one I did have to look up. This is Love by Numbers, book 2. I also have the 3 of the Bare Knuckle Bastard books. I've got 1, 2, and 3. I also have the 3rd and 4th Rule of Scoundrels series. And I have the 2 published so far. I know the 3rd one's coming out in August. We have Hell's Bells book 1 and book 2. I've been really excited about discovering Kate Bateman, so let's put her books up here. I have 2 from the Bow Street Bachelors, book 2 and book 3, as well as all 4 in the Ruthless Rivals series. I'm gonna keep showing this one off actually. Okay, so we're coming to a point where now everything I have is a lot by each author. So I'm trying to figure out where things are gonna fit. This is gonna get harder, I have a feeling. So glad you're with me. I really love Tessa Dare and I kind of want her to have her own little place and I kind of want to put her right here. So I'm gonna move my Amanda Quicks and my Mary Jo Putneys. I'm gonna put them with the ones I just got and then we're gonna move the Tessa Dare in here. Here we have book 1, book 2, and book 3 of the Stud Club trilogy. This is book 1 of Spindle Cove. I've even got my little stickies in there from when we were talking about it at the Summer of Tessa Dare read along. Oh! Spindle Cove book 2, Spindle Cove book 4. I also have all 4 of the Castles Ever After series. This one I did not buy used for the first time ever. Book 1, I loved it so much. Book 2, book 3, and I'm actually gonna set this back down here because I'm currently reading it for the read along. And book 4, which is actually a crossover, also book 5 of the Spindle Cove series. Then we've got the 3 that have been published so far. There's a 4th one coming someday of the Girl Meets Duke series, The Duchess Deal, The Governess Game, and The Wallflower Wager. And then I also bought this one. And I don't know what to do with it. It's not even the right size. It's not gonna fit. Oh, it's gonna fit! Oh, yay. Of course, is this gonna fit? Now we have to test something else. When I'm not reading this, is it gonna fit? No, it's not gonna fit. I might put this, I'll probably put this on top. Or I don't know what I'm gonna do. What should I do? I'm looking for advice. Okay, because I love my Amanda Quick step backs so much, I think I'm gonna make this section just Amanda Quick step backs. We're gonna run into a problem very soon. This is what's still going on my bed. Where are these going to go? Oh boy. Since I'm less excited about these two, I might pop these in the back. These are all of my Mary Jo Putney, and I love how I'm holding this right now. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do all my gorgeous Mary Jo Putney with the step backs and the gorgeous spines right there. And we're gonna put these that are less exciting, at least the covers, you know what I mean. We're gonna put them back here. Of course, they've already fallen. We're gonna put these less exciting looking ones back here. And then we're going to start putting these sideways. I think this adds a level of interest that not everything is just going side to side. I think that's supposed to be good, right? There's not enough room for one, so I'm gonna put it on top of my Mary Jo Putney. This kind of drives me crazy, but maybe we'll figure out something else. Why don't we take the Johanna Lindsay, put it on the very top. Okay, 3 of these are gonna have to go in the back row, and this giant one with the gorgeous step back on the back is just gonna go on top. Right now I'm looking at the spines to see what would be the most intriguing ones to have facing out. Okay, so again, we have like tons of books and not much shelf space left to work with. We're gonna have to make some decisions. And I actually think I wanna put Lisa Kleypas closer down. And the reason is because I'm usually sitting when I'm doing this, so people don't see my Lisa Kleypas quite as much, and I love her so much. So I figure people should have a better sense of who I am as a reader, and Lisa Kleypas being closer to me makes more sense. So I'm actually gonna take all the Lisa Kleypas off the top shelf. I'm gonna move her, and then we're gonna see who else we put on the very top. I know, let's put Julie Garwood on top. And I have more than 2 of a couple of these, so I might put them in the back row. By the way, I know I'm not putting all these in order just like with the Johanna Lindsay, but I'm running out of time because my kids are coming home and I'll figure it out, don't worry. Now let's take all of my Lorraine Heath and put them up there as well. Again, I'm moving the ones with the less exciting spines in the back row. So Lorraine Heath and Julie Garwood can share. And these are all out of order and I'm going to fix it. But my kids are home, so I'm doing this as quickly as I can. Hashtag real life. Hashtag this is gonna drive me crazy later. I'm gonna put her Westerns in the back row. Okay, that's something, because I only have 2 more Julia Quinn. So if I have a Julia Quinn shelf, it's not a problem. So that's good. And then I can use some of the extra space to display something. So I already had book 8 of the Bridgertons on the way to the wedding. It's the Netflix stamp on there. There's no step back, but I'm replacing that one with this one with the step back. Love it. Same goes for When He Was Wicked, book 6 of the Bridgertons, Netflix stamp, no step back. Guess what? Now I have the step back. So awesome. And now I can display my Kate Bateman right in the middle for no reason at all. This is not a perfect system, but it's what I have. As you can see, I have an entire shelf devoted to Eloisa James, and then I have this. So guess what we're doing? Some are going in the back. So yeah, So I just want to start with The Desperate Duchesses because that's what started me on romance all those years ago, and then I stopped and then I started again. But I have a special place in my heart for this series because this is what got me started. So we're going to keep The Desperate Duchesses and The Desperate Duchesses by the numbers on the shelves right where they are. I recently acquired This Duchess of Mine, which is book 5 in the Desperate Duchesses series. So I have books 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I can add 5. This is book 7 in the series, Desperate Duchesses. I'm so excited to have it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Here's book 8, which I just nabbed. I said I was going to stop saying nab after my last book haul. I said that word way too many times. But here is the step back. So we have book 8. That means I have the entire series. Finally. Which ends with book 9, 7 Minutes in Heaven, which makes no sense. Why wouldn't that be book 7? My Last Duchess is the prequel to The Wilds of Lindo Castle. I just got book 4 recently, like the last couple months, not that recently, of the Wilds of Lindo Castle series with the adorable step back. I love these step backs because they're all so smug. It's so cute. Now I can add that to my Wilds of Lindo Castle collection. We've got the prequel, book 1, 2, 3, and now I have 4, 5, and 6. So I have the whole series. Of course, next is one I'm insanely excited about, the fairy tale series. I just did that video not too long ago. I don't need this one anymore because I have this one with the step back. This is book 1 of the fairy tale series. I loved it so much. Yay. I'm looking forward to putting this one. This was the first ARC that I ever did. They actually gave it to me on the day of release. And then I bought it because it had a special place in my heart. This is not my favorite book, I have to say. This author is the first one who got me into romance, and then years later, first ARC I ever did. So very exciting. This is book 1 of the Would-Be Wallflowers series, and this is book 2. So I have 2 more that aren't going to fit on the shelves. 2 of these are gonna go and they're on the back, or I guess I could put them up here, but that will probably drive me crazy. We'll see. I'll go ahead and do it for now. Can I even tell you how much I love that we are closing out here with my probably favorite, she and Tessa Dare probably tied for my favorite historical romance author. So this is like one of my favorite books of all time. Doing our last shelf, starting off with this one. Again, The Magic, it's so perfect. This is the beginning, the prequel to the Wallflower series. Please read this first if you're gonna read the Wallflower series. It's so good. Book 1, Secrets of a Summer Night. Book 2, It Happened One Autumn. Book 3, Devil in Winter. Book 4, Scandal in Spring, where my books fall. And the bonus Christmas novella, A Wallflower Christmas. Then let's talk about the spin-off series that happens after this, The Hathaways. Book 1, Mine Till Midnight. Book 2, Seduce Me at Sunrise. Book 3, Tempt Me at Twilight. Book 4, Married by Morning, my personal favorite. And book 5, Love in the Afternoon. And then we'll go to the series that follows that, The Ravenels. Book 1, Cold Hearted Rake. Book 2, Marrying Winterborn. Finally got book 3, Devil in Spring, showing you the step back because this is the newest one. I could go through all these step backs. Let's do a video and we just do that. Oh, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Book 4, Hello Stranger. Book 5, Devil's Daughter. Book 6, Chasing Cassandra. And book 7, Devil in Disguise. Then let's jump into the Gamblers of Craven series because that is a favorite. It starts with book 1, Then Came You. Book 2, Dreaming of You. And this one is an anthology, but I'm putting it with my Lisa Kleypas because this contains a novella that is considered book 2.5 in the series. Then I've got the Bow Street Runner series, but some of these are going to go in the back row because they are newer editions with different endings. So I'm really excited to read both of those though. But this is book 1 of the Bow Street Runners, Someone to Watch Over Me. I just realized that I have 2 copies of Someone to Watch Over Me. I'm going to donate this one, and I'm definitely going to keep this one because look at how gorgeous this is. I got this one on a special sale for 10 cents, and I don't believe that it's ever even been read. Then we have book 2, Lady Sophia's Lover, the older version, newer version. We will glance at the step back, of course, as my books fall. Very excited about this. I'm going to take this one and put it in the back, as much as it pains me to do that. And then we have book 3 of the Bow Street Runner series, Worth Any Price. So excited to get this one with an updated version. And here is the step back. And yes, I'll be putting this one in the back row as well. Also got her Only Valerian series. One of these has a total remake, Only in Your Arms, which was actually remade many years later by Lisa Kleypas, turned into When Strangers Marry. So I'm actually gonna put this in the back. I'm gonna read both of these though. So this one's gonna go in the back so that I can have it as it was originally intended, the 2-book series. Book 1, Only in Your Arms, and book 2, Only with Your Love. I have the Stokehurst series, books 1 and 2, book 1, Midnight Angel, book 2, Prince of Dreams, and I think I'm okay with putting it in the back row. This is painful. So this is book 2 of the Capitol Theater series. I don't have book 1. And then there's a short story afterwards, which I remember being completely insane. And that was in one of my Christmas anthologies, which I have on the bottom shelf. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the back, at least for now. So I have 4 standalones by Lisa Kleypas. Where Dreams Begin, Love Come to Me, Stranger in My Arms, and Suddenly You. I think everybody's favorite. I'm going to put them, I don't know where I'm gonna put them. I'm acting all cool, calm, and collected, but I'm like, I'm gonna come right here. It's not hurting anything, right? Well, we did it. I can't believe it. You guys were with me for hours. You had lunch with me and you helped me through a freak out. This was amazing. Yes, I'm going to be getting more books at some point and we'll have to do this again maybe, or maybe we won't. I have so much to thank you for. Come on back for when we do this again with my contemporary fantasy and paranormal romance books. Hoping to do that in August. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're reading and that you're not stressing about where to put it after you're done. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye. I've been a booktuber for a little more than a year, and in that time, my romance collection has gone from this to this to this, and now this. Today, you are going to be joining me as I finally finish putting my whole library together. We still have this section here, and I have many books to put away. Hi, my name's Bea. Welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance, and finally finish putting my books together. This is going to be an epic video, for me at least, because I've always wanted to have a full set of shelves filled with books that are organized in a way that makes sense, at least to me. So first things first, I'm gonna remove these books that have been waiting to be shelved for months. And then I'm gonna put my shelves up. I'm moving this one because it looks better and it's probably going to be seen more. So So I'm really excited about these, but I'm kind of wondering if my contemporary paranormal and all that is gonna fit on these. I might have to take one of the shelves away to make everything work. We'll see. I'm gonna sort these by type, and then I'll just figure out where I wanna put them. So I'm gonna take all these down. There's not that many. And I'm gonna organize them with the books that I need to add for the first time. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna start with paranormal on the very bottom. Here we go, let's sort them. I have all 8 books. This is 7. I have the 8th one on Audible. Of the Highlander series by Karen Marie Moning. This is a time travel Highlander romance series. Let's put these in order on the shelves. Book 1, Beyond the Highland Mist. Book 2, To Tame a Highland Warrior. Book 3, The Highlander's Touch. I'm currently missing book 4, Kiss of a Highlander, and I know I have it around here somewhere. Maybe it'll turn up as we go. Moving on. Book 5, The Dark Highlander. Book 6, The Immortal Highlander. Book 7, Spell of a Highlander. I found book 4, Kiss of a Highlander. It looked different, so it confused me. Sticking on that Karen Marie... Yeah. It's gonna happen, folks. Going along on that Karen Marie Moning train, let's hit the Fever series. This one is set in present day, but apparently the world of the Fae is intermingled in our world, and there is a battle afoot. It's a romance series. A lot of people love it, and I've got quite a few of them. So let's pop those on the shelves. Book 1, Dark Fever. Book 2, Blood Fever. Book 3, Fae Fever. Book 4, Dream Fever. Okay, I've changed my mind. I'm realizing that there is more space here than here, and the way the holes are, you guys who've done bookshelves, you know what I'm talking about. I have a lot of bigger books that are contemporary and fantasy. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move them up. So we're gonna do that real quick. Okay, moving on. Shadow Fever, book 5, with a step back. Book 6, Iced. Don't have book 7, but I have book 8, Feverborn. And my books are gonna keep falling as I tell you that I have book 9, Fever Song. And there are 11 books in all, so I need a few more. Now let's talk about the Immortals After Dark series. There are 5 million books in the series. Not really. There are 18 primary works in the series. I have quite a few. Let's see if they fit on this shelf. This series, by the way, is about vampires, fae, and bears oh my. Just about every mythical creature you can think of apparently lives in our world side by side, and they're all battling for dominance. Here's book 3, Wicked Deeds on a Winter's Night. Book 4, Dark Needs at Night's Edge. Book 5, Dark Desires After Dusk. I don't even know how they fell off the shelf. Is it like a paranormal thing? I think this shelf is haunted. Book 6, Kiss of a Demon King. I actually have book 7, Deep Kiss of Winter, but it's a Christmas book, so I'm gonna put it somewhere else, and I may change my mind actually and put it here. Book 8, Pleasure of a Dark Prince. Book 9, Demon from the Dark. I really like light and fluffy, so I'm wondering if I'm going to enjoy a book, let's be honest, that's called Demon from the Dark. That doesn't scream, me would love this, but you never know. Book 10, Dreams of a Dark Warrior. I don't have 11, but I have book 12, Shadow's Claim. It looks very different from the rest of them. I guess this is paranormal. I don't really know. Paranormal question mark? We have a woman who travels back in time to be with a Highlander. It looks kind of humorous, actually. So I'm putting it here for now. If you have additional thoughts, let me know. They're Highlanders, they're vampires, and are werewolves, and they're written by Hannah Howell and Lindsay Sands. I've got books 1 and 3 of the McNaughton Vampire series. Okay, it fits. Now, I have one more that's kind of, I'm not even sure I'm going to keep this. Immortal Rising by Lindsay Sands. Okay, I'm making a decision. 1, it's not going to fit on this shelf. 2, I DNF'd another Argino novel. And I don't feel like I have to own Argino book number 34. So I'm going to donate this. But look, now I finished a shelf. Oh, the Haunted Shelf. I just realized that I thought I was filming. I've been talking to my phone. So a bunch of this is new that you have not seen. This shelf down here is going to be a whole mixed bag of paranormal, time travel, all of that good stuff. And I'm going to start with the 4-book parallel series. I'm looking at the top of my phone to make sure it's recording this time. This is an incredible epic romance. It's 2 duets. These are intense, incredibly gripping. I don't tend to like this kind of thing, and I was obsessed. They're on Kindle Unlimited, and if you get the bundle on Kindle Unlimited, there is a wedding novella in between books 2 and 3, which is really fun, but you can't buy a physical copy, at least not right now. So the 4 books are parallel. They're so gorgeous. We have to look at them. Book 2, Intersect. Book 3, Across Time. And book 4, Across Eternity. Then I can talk to you about some witch romance. This is book 2 of the Stay a Spell series. It is my absolute favorite with Devraj Kumar. He's my book husband. It's the only one I need. Then this one has gotten so much positive buzz, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I'm definitely gonna be reading this October. And then this one, I really need to read Nora Roberts. I haven't yet. This is book 1 of the Cousins O'Dwyer trilogy. I've heard fabulous things. I'm gonna hang on to this one for now. Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match by Sally Thorne. This one probably didn't get that great reviews. It's very different. The sister of Victor Frankenstein makes her own boyfriend out of other people. It was very interesting, and I may not keep it forever, but I found it fascinating. I also have Outlander, Post-Birthday World. This woman blows out her birthday candle, winds up living 2 different timelines. It's like Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow from the 90s. Remember that one? I also have these 2. These are probably more women's fiction. They're also spooky. I'm gonna give these a whirl, but I'm not sure if they're gonna be too dark for me. This one's like a haunted house, and this one is Outlander meets American Gothic. Looks very interesting. Again, we're experimenting with multiple timelines here. She has the chance to either start fresh with someone new, or she gets a chance to go back with her former love who actually died in an accident. Very intriguing. We have a woman who ends up with a guy she meets in a book. He comes out of the book. Very intriguing storyline. I had to grab it. I also have these collector's items from the 90s. These are anthologies written by beloved Avon authors of the time. Stardust, Moonlight Lovers, and Night Magic. They're very difficult to find. I also grabbed a contemporary romance anthology, Trick or Treat, it's Halloween. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have for paranormal. Now, I think I'm gonna start sorting my contemporary because most of this is gonna be contemporary. You know these videos are all about awkward camera angles. Well, welcome to one. I have the Friday Harbor series by Lisa Kleypas with its magical realism in addition to being romance. In an effort to save space, I'm going to put these on the bottom shelf. And speaking of time travel, this is Jane Austen coming to present day, falling in love with someone, but realizing that as she's falling in love with him, the books that she published in her original time are starting to disappear. So I'm going to put this at the bottom shelf as well with the time travel-y type things. Let's see what contemporary romance can fit on my teeniest shelf. I've got the Forever Yours series by Cara Bastone, which I've really been enjoying. Just a Heartbeat Away, which I loved. Can't Help Falling, which is book 2. Flirting with Forever. Set in New York City, full of heart and super spicy, which I would not have expected. Cabin Mate, fake dating. He's sworn off women for 4 months, but this woman he's been pining for asks him to be her date at a wedding. Spoiler alert, plus size gal, famous actor, fall for each other. Looks fun. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I've heard nothing but fabulous things about this. Rosalind Palmer takes the cake. A single mom goes on a British baking show and finds love along the way. Unravel Me, a dystopian book. You know what I think? I might just put it on the bottom shelf because I feel like it's giving me those vibes. And this bottom shelf is all kinds of crazy. So let's put it here. I have books 1, 4, and 5 of the 6 that have been published so far. There's a 7th coming out. It's just so life-affirming seeing unconditional love in all of its forms. I love this family and I love the romantic relationships. It's spicy, it's deep, it's humorous, it's heartfelt, it's everything. I love her so much. Book 1, Only When It's Us. I'm gonna put my series together. Book 4, With You Forever. And book 5, Everything for You. By the way, they just came out with new covers. They're gorgeous. I'm probably gonna have to get those too. I'm not sure if Tessa Bailey is for me. She might be, but these 2 summary books look like so much fun. I was going to read them this summer and then I ran out of time. It happened one summer and hook, line, and sinker. These are books 1 and 2 of the Bellinger Sisters series. The Brown Sisters series is also going to fit. I haven't read this yet. There are many people that I know that love this series, so I'm really looking forward to seeing these 3 sisters find love. Book 1, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Book 2, Take a Hint, Danny Brown. And book 3, Act Your Age, Eve Brown. My Lucy Score books are going to fit. I haven't read her yet either, but I'm really excited to give these a whirl. We've got The Worst Best Man, Forever and Ever, and Maggie Moves On. Julie Soto's book is going to fit. I've got 2 copies, the UK copy and the American copy. I'm going to keep both of them. Okay, I'm not really sure, so let's just move to the next shelf. We're gonna keep going with the contemporary. And I'm gonna go with some of my favorites. I gotta do Abby Jimenez. I love her so much. Book 1 of the Friend Zone series, The Friend Zone. Book 2. This is supposed to be made into a movie. Book 3. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on about all of these. I love them so much. Then we have Part of Your World, which I also have the Steam box cover. For now, I'm gonna keep both of them. Maybe I'll break up the yellow. And then this is the latest book 2 in the Part of Your World series, Yours Truly, which I have signed. Not only by Abby, but by her pooches. Let's do my giant Emily Henry. Beach Read, Book Lovers, The People We Meet on Vacation, and the latest, Happy Place. I am an Allie Hazelwood addict, and I currently own 2 of her books that I've gotten at used book sales. The first one, The Love Hypothesis, and book 2, Love on the Brain. A fun dose of science, technology, engineering, math, and romance. And hilarity. I laugh so much. Another author I love, Elena Armas. Oh my gosh. Spanish Love Deception, books 1 and 2. Oh, she can do slow burn like none other. Love her so much. Another one of my favorite authors, Christina Lauren. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. Actually, okay, it's 2 ladies, right? Love in Other Words, one of my top books of all time. The Unhoneymooners. A lot of people love this one the most, Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. And I just nabbed this one the other day, Twice in a Blue Moon. I also have 2 books from the Bromance Book Club about men that don't know how to romance their women, so they do book clubs of romance novels in their spare time. The Bromance Book Club, which is book 1, and then I also have Crazy Stupid Bromance. Really looking forward to getting into Helen Huang, and she did the Kiss Quotient. I have books 1 and 3, The Heart Principle, which doesn't fit. Okay, I'm rethinking everything now. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put my favorite all-time contemporary, although this would go up there too, up on this shelf. Things are gonna move, people. They're gonna move. Maybe I'm just gonna put these up here. They have to be together. Well, now what do we do? I've still got a ton of contemporary. These are contemporary, but they're also sports romance. So let's figure out where we're gonna put these. And I have a Catherine Center that I'm really excited about, which is probably not, nope, that one doesn't fit either. Okay, I'm just gonna put my favorite right here. That's what's gonna happen. First, I gotta move these. We got a Court of Thorns and Roses series, Throne of Glass, Ice Planet Barbarians, flowers that were my wedding. I mean, they're fake, but it's a replica. Here we go. This feels right. Now we can put Catherine Center up here. I might even put her right here. It's so tall, I think it'll look good right here. The one tall in the middle is gonna drive me crazy. I'll probably get a paperback at some point. You know what I'm gonna do too? I really love these Bergman Brother books. I'm gonna move them to right here. Because I can. And Forget Me Not. I got to meet the author. I got these signed. They're very special. Okay. I'm sure things are gonna move around, but I am very happy with this. Okay, that feels really good. Oh! Let's put sports romance right here. The Him, Us duo. Oh my gosh. Hockey romance, MM. Can't recommend it highly enough. Loved it so much. So I fell in love with this hockey romance. This is set in college. Book 1, The Deal. Please tell me this is gonna fit. Book 4, The Goal. Yes! And then this is The Legacy, 4 short stories that follow each of the romances in the 4 books of the series. So this is gonna be really cool. I'm excited that I got this. It would be nice if they all were the same size, but oh well. I have 3 baseball romances, very different story for each of them. This one is based on a Hallmark movie, The Perfect Catch. This one is The Proposal. It looks super cute. This one, it's baseball set at college. He's tasked with keeping her away from Jack Rowe because she's bothering all the other baseball players. And then this is one I just picked up the other day. It is a football romance, and it's signed by the author. And now we can put random contemporary romance up on this shelf. Let's start with one near and dear to my heart. My first ever physical ARC advanced reader copy. Loved it so much. Love and Gelato. 8 Perfect Hours. They fall in love in 8 hours in a car during a snowstorm. I've heard great things about this contemporary romance featuring a plus-size heroine. Really excited about that. She's also a fashion designer. It looks really fun. We have a British rock star who I don't think could lower his pants 1 more centimeter. Yikes! And apparently he's gonna fall in love with a woman babysitting his children. And this one is signed too. Grandmother and granddaughter switch places and find happiness. One in the country, one in the city. It looks super cute. This time next year, a couple continues to meet once a year to see what will happen. It looks kind of enemies to lovers, and it looks sort of fun. So we'll see. This one looks interesting. We've got a second chance romance. I guess she's a single mom, but now she is re-encountering the man who was her professor when she was a student, and they had a thing back then. So we'll see what happens here. I've heard mixed things about this book, but apparently the series is amazing. Oh, and this is a hockey book. Let's put it with the hockey books. There we go. This looks so cute. We've got a rock star who's so awkward and is trying to woo a gal. It looks really cute and funny. The Twisted series by Anna Huang. If it's not too dark, I think I'm really gonna enjoy it. But this is book 2. You know what I want to do? I want to take my YA romances and put them on this shelf. To All the Boys I Loved Before, I actually am really excited about this one. This one has 3 fabulous movies, and now a spin-off on Netflix. A high school kid and a college kid are forced to work together at weddings all summer, and sparks fly. A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. Also, these are 3 books that I love that are movies as well. I also have Ever After, but it's missing. Austin Land. Oh, it's like one of my very favorites. I love this one so much. We'll put it here, and it's gonna fall. Chocolat and Down with Love. I love these movies so much. They're great watches when you just need to pick me up. So this is really gonna annoy me. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move it over here. That's better. Let's start putting my alien romance and fantasy romance up here. I can't even tell you how excited I am to have all of these together finally. It's taken me so long to do this haul and then this shelf reorganization. So Ice Planet Barbarians books 1 through 6. They're on Kindle Unlimited. They're also on AnyPlay. That's how I usually listen to them. But they've all got extra stories and honeymoon novellas, and they're just so much fun and they're gorgeous. So here's book 1, Ice Planet Barbarians. Book 2, Barbarian Alien. Book 3, Barbarian Lover. Book 4, Barbarian Mine. Book 5, Barbarian's Prize. And Book 6, Barbarian's Mate. I've got my Court of Thorns and Roses. I haven't read Court of Silver Flames yet, but I really enjoyed the rest of the books in the series. We have Book 1, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Book 2, A Court of Mist and Fury. Book 3, A Court of Winds and Ruin. The novella, A Court of Frost and Starlight. And Book 4, A Court of Silver Flames. You know what I want to feature before I get into the Sarah J. Maas? I want to do Radiance. I love this book so much. It's the first book in the Wraith King series. It's gorgeous. So I'm actually going to put it here. And then the rest of this shelf is almost certainly going to be Sarah J. Maas. I have everything but the last book in the Throne of Glass series. I even have The Assassin's Blade, which is 5 novellas that are set before the first book. I have Book 1, Throne of Glass. Book 2, Crown of Midnight. Book 3, Heir of Fire. Book 4, Queen of Shadows. Book 5, Empire of Storms. And Book 6, Tower of Dawn. The only one I don't have is Book 7, Kingdom of Ash. I could have bought it the other day. It was a hardback and it was like $18 and I almost got it. As I'm looking at this top shelf, I have these 4, which were from a long time ago. They are by Kim Grunenfelder. Keep Calm and Carry a Big Drink. Misery Loves Cabernet. Her first one, A Total Waste of Makeup, which I totally fell in love with. And there's Cake in My Future. I'm gonna put them down here. I've got heavier stuff, Nicholas Sparks, Love in the Time of Cholera, Great Gatsby. That's not even really a romance because it's depressing. Memoirs of Jane Austen. The One Day in December. I guess that's a romance novel. I'm still debating about whether or not to keep that. Ah! Another haunted shelf. Women's fiction. There's Nora Roberts, J.D. Robb. This is like a thriller. And we've got Pride and Prejudice. This is just, this shelf is all kinds of a disaster in terms of theme. We've got Lessons in Chemistry, Bonnie Garmis. I really need to look more into that one. But here's the Tea Rose, and now I have the Winter Rose, which can go with it. So that'll be nice. These are big honking books, I'll tell you that. Then I'm gonna take my cozy mysteries that are falling and put them up here. These are Hannah Swenson mysteries. I know these from Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. I really enjoy them. So I'm hoping I like the books. We'll see. We've got Cinnamon Roll Murder. We just take titles, we mix yummy foods and the word murder and call it a day. Devil's Food Cake Murder. Raspberry Danish Murder. Red Velvet Cupcake Murder. Apple Turnover Murder. And Triple Chocolate Cheesecake Murder. There you have it. Okay. Maybe this can. Oh, nope, that's not gonna work. Oh, wait. Oh! How perfect! I think maybe this perfect as this shelf can get. This is amazing. I'm so glad you're with me. I have good news and bad news. The good news is we just finished this side. I mean, look at this. This is so exciting. I mean, let's not look at that one, but look at these. I mean, I am very pleased with how this turned out. The bad news is now we have historical romance to get through. So let's figure that out. This is what I know. I want to take my Julia Quinn. I'm going to push a lot in the back and just display my Rokesbys and my Bridgerton. And then it can share the shelf with all of the millions of Laura Lee Gurkeys that I got. So I have 3 of the 4 books in the Girl Bachelor series. Book 1, And Then He Kissed Her. Book 2, The Wicked Ways of a Duke. Book 3, Secret Desires of a Gentleman. But there is another series that goes along with this called Abandoned at the Altar. I have several books in that series, so let's look at it. I'm also referring to my computer as I'm talking to you. Surprise, surprise. I have 2 of the 3 books in the Abandoned at the Altar series, Wedding of the Season, and Book 3, Trouble at the Wedding. And if you want to see these step backs, I just showed them in my book haul, so I'm trying not to repeat myself. I have all 4 of the books of the American Heiress in London series. Book 1, When the Marquis Met His Match. How to Lose a Duke in 10 Days. Catch a Falling Heiress. And No Mistress of Mine. I can tell we're gonna have a problem. Oh boy. I have 3 books from the Guilty series. I don't have the first book, Guilty Pleasures, but I do have His Every Kiss. The Marriage Bed. Let's just look at the back. And She's No Princess. I love it when they have a beautiful back cover. I have 3 more in a series and I'm wondering if they're going to fit. Let's see. I can certainly take out this that I was using to hold the books up. Will they fit? I believe they'll fit. They are going to fit. Okay, great. There are 4 books in the Dear Lady Truelove series. I have 3. Book 1, The Truth About Love and Dukes. I don't have Book 2, The Trouble with True Love, but I do have Book 3, Governess Gone Rogue, and Book 4, Heiress Gone Wild. I love these titles. Now, I actually do have 2 more, but they're standalone and they look awfully dated, I shall say. Breathless and The Charade, or The Charade. So I'm going to put these in the back. I'm getting better at being okay about having 2 rows of books. I think you have to if you're going to be a booktuber. Ta-da! Looking forward to putting my new Julie Garwood, The Secret, with the other Julie Garwoods. Of course, I need to organize these. I know you don't need to hear every single book I put on a shelf, but I'm just finishing up this video, so why not? Back to the floor. Okay, so I just made a hole for my, you gotta see it. Made a hole with my Laura Lee Gurkey because I only had 3. Now I have another set of 3 I can put in. Amelie Howard. I already had Always Be My Duchess and The Duke in Question. Now I have one that I'm insanely excited about that everybody's told me is one of the best Beauty and the Beast retellings around, The Beast of Bestwick. So that is going here. Yay! I'm gonna move my Paula Quinn down here because I only have 2 as much as I would love to have more. And now I can put my new Maya Banks, Never Love a Highlander, and In Bed with a Highlander, with the one I just got recently, Never Seduce a Scot. So now they can be all together. I know it's like all the Highlander are together. How funny. With those Hannah Howells. Okay, this shelf is gonna change a lot. I'll have to find a place to put some of these things. I know I can't just have nothing but books. I wanna have knickknacks and different things, and so I'll push some things back sometimes. But in an effort to organize, I now have another Joanna Shoup. I'm so excited that it gets to join several more, 4 more, 5 more. This is book 1 of the 5th Avenue Rebels series. So I'm gonna put this right in front of book 2, which is The Lady Gets Lucky. I have the first book in the Love by Number series, and it will be joining book 2, 10 Ways to be Adored When Landing a Lord. I now have doubled my Christina Britton that I have. I have 4, and I'm so excited. I'm just gonna put it up here with my Kate Bateman. Book 1 of the Isle of Sin series, A Good Duke is Hard to Find. Book 2, Someday My Duke Will Come. Book 3, A Duke Worth Fighting For. And then this is the first one in the spin-off series, the Sinful Spinster series. Some Dukes Have All the Luck. I was just saying the other day how much this one reminds me of The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. So if you liked that one, I think you'll like this one too. Okay, I'm gonna make another weird decision here. I have 4 Kerrigan Byrne, and the more I think about it, the more I think she might be too dark for me. I'm not getting rid of these. But I might put them in the back row. Not to say she's not amazing, because she is. And I read The Highwayman and I really did like it, but it was a little dark. I'm gonna put her in the back row, and then that's gonna make room for a little bit of Stacy Reid. I'm gonna move this all down. The Wolf and the Wildflower. It's a different size. It's okay. It's okay. A Matter of Temptation. Everybody's talking about it. And the only other one I could find in my searches, Her Wicked Marquis. I have 2 Vivian Loret, and I'm going to put it on my shelf with my other books, for whom I have 2 authors. I also have The Perfect Crimes of Marion Hayes. This one's been getting a lot of buzz lately too. I'm really excited about this one. I'm just gonna put it, it's an odd size. It's gonna fit up here. I got another Sabrina Jeffries. I will put it with the rest of my Sabrina Jeffries. And we'll organize them by series later. I now have a second Madeline Hunter, and I will just keep them together. Oops. So there's 2 Julia London. Well, these just fit. Well, we did it. We officially finished my shelves. Not only do I have the most awesome collection of books now, which will only grow, let's face it. Now I have super cool lighting that honestly, I can take this off whenever I want. Because this sticks to anything metal, this is gonna be sticking all around my house. I can just take this anywhere. It's so cool. I didn't know I had so many things in my house that were metal, to be honest, until this light. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this whole time. This has been a blast and a half. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're reading, whether it's part of your really super cool, awesome library or not. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.